What's up, Giants fans, Hub watchers, YouTube subscribers, Twitter and Instagram followers? It's your boy Kush back at it with another Just Chillin' podcast episode. Only the second ever call-in show episode. Did this last week. You guys liked it a lot. It worked out pretty well, actually. I thought it was going to be a bit harder to manage and whatnot. It was pretty cool. You know what I'm saying? So this is the way it's going to go. By the way, shout out to everybody in the chat. I appreciate you guys being here. This is the way it's going to go. I'm going to probably talk for maybe about 10, 15 minutes, answer any preliminary questions you guys might have. Then, if there's any members that want to call in, there's already the community post. The members already have the link to click and call in. Very simple with StreamYard. I'll get to them first, and then I'll get to the regular guys. I will, post the link in the chat just like last time. So with all that being said, shout out to everybody in here, man. Football Talk, Jaden Dawkins, Logan's Gaming Loud, Sugar Tots, Wolves, Mike Nixon. Dollar Beer was in here. He got timed out a little bit. All cleared up. Dollar Beer for any new mods in here, or just anybody that doesn't know him. He's a troll, but he's like a chill troll. Like him and PTA, they're actually pretty chill with each other. It's all good. So it's all right with him. Only time out people are being actually toxic. But Mike Nixon, he's a great friend of the channel. Mike knows what's up. He's all good. Nikki in here as well. Edward Chan. We got Grivity, Jackson Twins, Mets fan 11. Quincy Cash, what's up? Remember me? I remember that typing name. Sports Talk with the Let's Go's Bird and David A.V., Johnny Kelly. Well, there's a couple people in here already. Shout out to everybody in here. Vinny G-Men as well. Joe Yaddo was actually the next person up. So let me give Joe Yaddo his mod. And later on in the stream, Jackson Twins, if you're still here, I will give you that mod, man. So, like I said, any preliminary questions, I'll talk about it. I know Edward asked about the Jordan Renan thing. That happened earlier, Jordan Rannon, however you pronounce it. And I see Joseph Balby. He has a pretty good comment here. He says, hey, Hub, you're a great content creator. YouTube is a great place for Giants news. Keep it going. I'm not sure if this was related to what the whole Renan tweet and Twitter thing earlier. If it is, either way, thank you. That means a lot to me, man. So here's the thing, bro. My take on the Jordan thing, and I actually retweeted it and I said, my thoughts on it. I definitely took offense to that, you know what I'm saying? Where he basically said that YouTube content creators steal and profit off of hard work by Giants beat reporters. And I'm not quoting verbatim. I'm just, going off the top of my head what I remember that it said, right? And he's a reporter for ESPN, for those of you that don't know. Reason I took offense to that, because I'm obviously a Giants YouTube content creator, but I do not steal from anybody else's hard work. And first of all, he's a reporter. So any work that he actually puts out there is in the public domain, can be used. And while it's not required that you source it, it's just good practice that you source it. And you guys watch my videos all the time. If I use a quote by any reporter or I read an article by any reporter, I'm like, oh, this is from Jordan Renan here on Twitter. Go check him out. I always say that. Or if it's from Art Stapleton or Patricia Tana, these are all great Giants beat reporters. I always say go check them out. If it's from a particular website, I let you guys know this is on the Giants website. This is from NJ.com. This is from the New York Post. This is from Giants Wire. And I always give them, the credit. And even then, to a steps further, it can't even be considered stealing because, it's not like the entire video is that. You say it, and this, I'm speaking not just for myself, but other content creators on the platform here. We speak and we give our opinion on it. If we were just reading the article verbatim and that's it, these videos would be 3 minutes long. They wouldn't be 10 minutes where majority of it is me giving my opinion, them giving their opinion and stuff like that. On top of that, you know what I'm saying? We do stuff other than just reports. That's not why we're on here. We're on here to give you guys our opinion. You know what I'm saying? That's why you guys come to us. You come to us for our opinion. You come to us for unfiltered sports talk. You come to us because you want to come to us. Maybe there's another reason. And it's just more entertaining than going and reading an article. I feel like that's part of my thing here on YouTube. So I make it less boring for you guys and a little bit more digestible. And on top of that, I do stuff like my draft, my mock drafts in the offseason, my mock free agencies, my skits. So I definitely took offense to that. I do understand where Jordan was coming from, though. I still take a little bit of offense to it because he grouped us all into one big content creator group. But I understand where he was coming from. There are content creators out there that do straight up just, steal his stuff in the sense that I said, like they just read it and that's it. You know what I'm saying? There are people who are out there that take reporters' work and claim it as their own and say, oh, this is from my such and such source or something like that. I do get that. It's a differentiation where all the controversy is happening. And that's really just my 2 cents on it. I've already moved on past it, like, because, I said my 2 cents, and that's basically it. So I know the chat has moved a while. Just want to clear that stuff up, you know what I'm saying? So we could get back to what we're talking about here is the Giants. We're going into week 12. Cincinnati. Anything else you guys want to talk about? Sugar Todd says he steals his own thing. I don't know if he's talking about Jordan there. Shout out to Bradley. He says the sweater is fire. I will be announcing that, about halfway through the stream about the new sweater. Thank you, Joseph. He says I got legit content. Football Talk says YouTube is the best place for sports, especially the best community, the Giants community. I agree with that. You know what I'm saying? Sports Talk says, well, I'm not a Giants fan, but that was just disrespectful. Exactly. Shout out to Mixed Sports, Christopher Hidalgo. Christopher says, if I don't steal content, why am I assuming he's talking? I'm not assuming he's talking about me. My problem with it was that he grouped us all together, and I'm a little hurt by that. Christopher is a longtime watcher of the channel, so I'm a little hurt by that. Emmanuel says, "Year, what's up, Emmanuel?" All right, so let's talk about it. I'm gonna drop the link now to the call-in, so you guys. Oh, we do have a question here. I was waiting for this. David AV says, "Do I think Cincinnati could be a trap game?" Well, to be considered a trap game, we have to be at an advantage, and currently the Giants are a 5-point favorite. I want to say on Cincinnati, right? We're about a 5-point favorite going into it. They didn't only lose Joe Burrow, they also lost Joe Mixon. And on top of that, even with those 2 guys who are probably their 2 best players on the team, they weren't even a good team to begin with. They're a competitive team, but they were not a good team to begin with. Could it be a trap game in the sense that we could go in there and what happened week 3 against the 49ers could happen again? Yes, it definitely could. Because the 49ers game in week 3 was supposed to be a done deal. Not only were the 49ers missing their starting quarterback, they were missing their starting running back and second string running back and like half of their starting defensive line. No, more than half of their starting defensive line. They were missing about 3 or 4 players on that defensive line. So this could 100% be a trap game. I hope it is not, though. You know what I'm saying? Let's see here. You guys are just talking back to Renata. I appreciate the support, guys. I really do. Vinny G-Man says, is Graham Gano playing? Here's the thing. Graham Gano, he should be cleared to play. He should be cleared to play. I don't know if he actually is playing, though. I can look it up right now. But Graham Gano, by all intents and purposes, I even said this the day he was, it came out that he was diagnosed with COVID. He, if he's healthy and all that, should be cleared within the 10-day period. And that 10-day period does end before Cincinnati. So I'm on Graham Gano here. There isn't really any update. There's just articles talking about him being creative. He's kicking in his house. I saw a video about that. And there's not really any update here. I would say Graham Gano is going to be ready. I'm not going to say anything definitively until we get a definitive report, but he should be ready for Cincinnati. And here we go. The GOAT Gano is exactly what Michael says. And I'm going to post this link into the chat right now. So you guys could click on that. Go ahead and call in whenever you want. I'll take you on, have you on here for a couple questions, and we'll see how it goes, man. So currently just waiting for the first person. Christopher says you cannot underestimate Giovanni Bernard. He can carve us up. That's a good point. Joe Bernard was a pretty good person. He could definitely carve us up, man. I got a couple guests in here already. I just want to say, guys, share the stream, like it up, get other people in here. Let's go. My first person on is Football Talk. Benny, he was actually on Chris's stream the other night. He was goated in the chat. What's up, Benny? How you doing, my guy?
Good. How are you?
I'm good, man. What you feeling to talk about today?
Well, I was just wanting to talk about I'm trying to think what I was going to talk about. Well, I was just going to talk about the fact that I'm pretty scared of the Cowboys right now. Because they're coming off a win against actually a decent team in the Vikings, right? It's the Vikings just played.
Yeah, the Vikings, yeah.
They've got a really easy schedule to the end of the season, much better than easier than us and Eagles. I'm pretty sure it's better than than Washington. So I'm just a little worried. I think they could win most of their games ending the year, and I don't know if we're gonna do that. Not because I think that we're not good. I think it's more because we're playing against a bunch of good teams. We're playing against some of the top teams in the NFL. So I think it could be they could end up winning the division. At first, before that game, I thought there wasn't really much of a chance, but now I'm definitely worry most about them, and I'll be rooting for Washington against them on Thanksgiving. But yeah.
Nah, Benny, I could definitely hear where you come from, man. And me too. I think anybody in this chat should be rooting for Washington to win that Thanksgiving game. And it's mostly because the Cowboys aren't necessarily a good team. I think we all know they're just like us. We're both 3-7 at the end of the day. The Cowboys are a bad team, but they have still the worst defense in the NFL. But you're absolutely right. They did get a win against the Vikings. I will say, though, in my opinion, it was more the Vikings choking than the Cowboys making like a miraculous comeback or something. But you're right. They have the easiest schedule going forward for all NFC East teams. The combined record for the rest of these teams, I think the Cowboys combined record is like 21-39 or something crazy like that. And every other team, like Washington, Giants, Philly, the combined record is 30 and above and something. So the Cowboys 100% have the easiest schedule. Now, here's the thing, Benny, I'm going to ask you. Do you have faith that Andy Dalton can do what he did against the Vikings, against other teams, though? Because I think that's what it's going to come down to.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what it comes down to. I mean, I wasn't able to watch that game because it wasn't playing in my area, so I didn't get to really see like what was going on. But all that I saw from the score and like some of the stats was that they played they played okay, definitely. And yes, I'll be watching on against Washington. But I feel like that's really I think the key if Andy Dalton plays good.
Do
I
you think
I
there's
don't
any
have
chance that the Cowboys defense figures something out and becomes good, or you think they're just going to be trash for the rest of the season?
I don't. Maybe that linebackers and the front seven like kind of takes over a little bit more because they do have some big names up there. But I think that secondary that's gonna need to work. I think they have to, no matter what, even if they end up making the playoffs, like they have to take a corner this year, in my opinion, because they really need one. I mean,
Nah, I mean, and I see David AV has a comment. I'm not sure why it's held for review, but he has a pretty good comment here. He says that the Cowboys have defensive talent. They could make a run. I think that's what everybody is worried about. Are the Cowboys the only team you're worried about, Benny? Or are you still worried about the Eagles? You think the Eagles are done? Any curiosity about Washington, or is it just the Cowboys?
Well, at first I was worried about like the Eagles, but I've slowed down them. But I'm still like always a little afraid because I feel like every year they have some sort of like remarkable story, and then they come back and then end up winning games with somehow sneak into the playoffs. Washington, I'm not too worried about. They played they. I don't think they're anything too special. I'm not really worried about Washington, but what I'm worried about is that the Cowboys are gonna win against Washington, and they're gonna start to pick up some momentum and be like, we can win the NFC East and then really, take over. But
So, Benny, before I let you go, you want to give us a little facts about the back there? I see a framed. Is that a Saquon hat? And I can't tell what jersey it is because the camera's cut off. What you got
so
back
this
there?
right here. Okay, this right here is I was at the Giants versus Eagles last year in Philly, like the overtime game. Well, Saquon Barkley actually gave me his hat after the game, which was
Wow.
awesome. Yeah, that was pretty crazy.
That's awesome. You had to keep
And
that
this
for your
right
entire
here
life.
is a signed Saquon jersey.
So you're a big Saquon fan.
Yeah, I'm a big Saquon fan. Yeah.
All right, so let's hope that the dude stays here for his lifetime, and I know I certainly hope so. I'm a big Saquon fan as well, man.
Yeah,
Saquon was actually that one player that got me thinking about starting my YouTube channel all the way back in 2018. I didn't actually start it until last year, but Saquon, absolutely love that dude.
Yeah,
Thank you for coming on, Benny. Any last thoughts before I let you go, my man?
No, just thanks for having me on. Big fan.
No problem, bro. Have a good one.
Yeah, the Giants community is great, and it was that tweet. What was his name?
Jordan Rannon.
Yeah, I don't understand that at all. I haven't seen any of that. So,
hey, thank you for the support, man. Shout out to Benny for coming on, guys. He was also on Tana's live stream the other day. Great little young goat that we got here. You know what I'm saying? Before I get the next person on, I got a couple questions here. David AV says they are coached terribly. Bradley says the Cowboys defense is garbage. Go Giants. Christopher says, any news on the Pittsburgh-Baltimore game? Is it still on Thursday Night Football? That's a good question, and I'll just Google it right now. Pittsburgh, I think it is, because I saw a tweet by the Pittsburgh Steelers official account, and yeah, it's still on Thursday night, 8:20 p.m. That game is still a go. So the next person we have on here is Logan's Gaming Lounge. Logan, welcome on, bro. How you doing?
Pretty good. How you doing tonight?
I'm good, man. What's up? What you trying to talk about?
Yeah, I was just thinking, when you said a few weeks ago that you thought we could beat Seattle, I thought you lost your mind for good. But I started to think about it. If our offense takes advantage of their bad defense, we could win. And what do you think about the remainder of our schedule?
So, I mean, yeah, I would agree with you, right? I think we could beat Seattle. Now, here's the problem, right? I said that a couple weeks ago. I still stand by it. I still stand by that Seattle is a beatable, it's a winnable game. That still hinges on one important thing, though. That is if Russell Wilson gets back in his groove, because he's been kind of going through a little dry rut, so to speak, right? If he somehow, some way finds his way back into the groove he was the first 5 weeks of the season, that definitely puts that Seattle game just a little bit out of reach. But other than that, I'm going to bring up the Giants schedule right now. Listen, I'll tell you what, no game is a guaranteed W. I really think that Bengals and Cowboys, I'm still confident in that game. And out of the four in between, it would be Seahawks and Browns that I would say are winnable. I really think Ravens and Cardinals might be out of reach. Where do you stand with that?
Cardinals, no way. But I think we have a better chance of beating the Ravens than the Browns.
Yeah, I agree,
Lamar
man.
looks trash.
Well, would you say trash, or would you say he's like, nah, and this is an interesting one. I'm going to bring up two completely different quarterbacks, right? I'm going to bring Logan. I got two completely different quarterbacks for you here. You think they're struggling because of themselves or because of just the offensive play calling and stuff like that? Carson Wentz and Lamar, they're both having terrible seasons, right? Why do you think they're struggling? Is it because that's who they are, or is it because of what's around them?
I don't think it's either of those things. For Lamar, I think it's the NFL has finally figured him out.
Mm-hmm.
And Carson Wentz, I don't even know what to say on him.
So
I think it's just him.
You think it's just Carson Wentz?
Yeah.
And then with Lamar, you stand by what do you think might be Lamar, other than the NFL figuring him out? So, like, what's up with their offensive coordinator then? Why aren't they getting this man to do something different?
I don't know why. It's just he wants to get outside of the pocket, but every single team has a scheme for him now, so I don't know.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, man, I would say I don't watch Ravens games like that, but I definitely keep up with it because, it's Lamar. We're talking about last year's MVP and whatnot. Michael Boston's in here. Shout out to Michael Boston. He says the offense is horrible. It's not Lamar. Lamar needs better receivers. Now, what do you think about that? Like, I would say Hollywood Brown's a pretty good receiver. But
yeah, I would say
Hollywood
that.
Brown, is there anybody else on that offense?
Not real. I mean, Hollywood Brown, in my opinion, is slightly overrated, but still really good. But all the other receivers on the Ravens aren't that good, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. And you think, you know what, I'm going to say this because Edward Chan just put it out there as well. It goes
Willie Snead is decent.
Willie Snead?
He's decent, but he's not all pro.
So Edward is saying teams are making him a pass-first player, which he isn't, and teams have figured that out and are exploring it. So you think Lamar, I think it's too early to say he's done, but I think we could both agree it's surprising that they haven't adjusted his game yet.
I think that they need to adjust his game. Like Russell Wilson, when we first got into the league, was a pure running quarterback, but then they changed him into a mobile quarterback, which I think Lamar needs to do.
Mm-hmm. Well, Russell was also, before he was what he is, he was also, for a good part of his career, a game manager as well.
Yeah.
So what else you trying to talk about?
One last thing. Do you think Tay Crowder is the linebacker of the future?
Ooh, you hitting me right there. I want him. I'm going to tell you right. I want him to be. I want him to be so bad. I don't know yet. I'm going to have to judge at the end of the season. And I know I say this with basically every player we have because we're a very young team. You know what I mean? But with Tay Crowder specifically, I want him to be so badly. Like, I think he has the agility and the athleticism to be the type of second linebacker that we need, right? We need that athletic, can cover, the main thing they do is cover second linebacker because Blake covers the hard hitting. He covers the run stuffing. He has a little bit of coverage skill with him as well, but we still need that second guy there. So I want Tay Crowder to be it. I think he has the ability to be it. Whether or not he actually taps into it and whether or not he actually has the talents to do it, I have no idea. But I want him to be a real bad because that would we don't need to draft somebody else. We don't need to.
Yeah, I want that to be it too. But I don't know if he has as much talent as you need to be a great linebacker. I think he could be decent.
So do you think we need a great linebacker besides Blake or just a decent one then?
That's a hard question because you always want two great middle linebackers, but you don't always get that.
Yeah, like, of course, nobody would complain if we got two great middle linebackers, but, I mean, I don't think, like, a decent middle linebacker next to a great middle linebacker, which I guess you could classify Blake Martinez, at least for the 2020 season.
He's the best linebacker in the NFL.
Whoa, that's a bold claim now.
Maybe not best line. Maybe best middle linebacker.
Above people like Bobby Wagner and Fred Warner?
I forgot about them. Okay, third
Yeah.
best middle linebacker.
Yeah, you see now, I love Blake. Y'all know that's no secret, but I put him in that top 10. I'm very hesitant to put him in the top 5 because of guys like Wagner, because of guys like Fred Warner. I mean, there's probably Roquan Smith. I would still put
I forgot about Roquan.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm going to definitely say he's top 10, though, especially for this season right
He's
here.
top 5.
Mm-hmm. Top 5? Maybe. You know, he's, like I say, he's that top 10, but that's why I think because we just need a decent middle linebacker next to him, not necessarily another great one. Like, nobody's going to complain if we get another great one, but it's not a necessity. What do you say to that?
I don't think it's a necessity. I just think it would help. But I'm not exactly sure. We'll see how Jay Crowder works out.
I got a question here from one of my members. Shout out to Calvin. He's a Cardinals fan, actually. He says, Logan, why do the Giants have a chance against Seattle, but they don't have a chance against the Cardinals?
The Cardinals' defense, in my opinion, is way better than the Seahawks. So that's why I think, and their offense is more explosive, in my opinion. It's just the Seahawks, their offense has cooled down a little bit. Like you said, Russell was the clear MVP, but he's not anymore. So, plus the Seahawks defense isn't that good anymore.
Okay. Hey, man, completely respectable. Logan, thank you for coming on, man. Any last thoughts before I get the next caller in here?
No, I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely no problem, man. So that was Logan, guys. Thank you for tuning in. Logan's always in the chat. He's in my man streams. He's in my regular streams. Shout out to him. Shout out to anybody new that tuned in. I see D Giant, Dante, Barrios, Levi Alfasi, TSV, Michael Boston, and everybody else in here, right? Talking about middle linebacker situation. Vinny G says the Ravens got RG2 and RG3. Who's RG2? Is this a joke that I don't understand? D Giant says the Giants can beat the Seahawks. Dante Barrios, a second great linebacker, isn't need as long as the other guy isn't a liability. It's fine. Crowder might be decent enough, and that's what I'm hoping for. So let's get the next person on here. It is Michael. There's no last name next to him, but it is Michael. Michael, what's up, man? How you doing? What you trying to talk about?
I know this is like a little bit unrelated to football, but I want to talk about your merch.
Oh, sure.
Like, how are you gonna brand that? Since your username on YouTube is the Hubs. Like, we all think about like a certain safe haven for pretty much everyone on earth here. So, like, how are you gonna market that merch?
I guess I don't understand your question. What do you mean? How am I gonna market it? Like, I don't market it that much. I guess I just put it out. I put it in my Instagram, put it in my Twitter. I let you guys know that it exists, and that's about it, I guess.
No, I mean, what I mean by that is, like, what are you gonna like put on the hoodies? Like, I don't really like want to be like strutting around like New York City, which is where I live, like walking around with the Hub on a sweatshirt.
I'm also in NYC.
Well, yeah, I see. Like, you live in
what borough are you in?
Apartment. I'm in Brooklyn.
In Brooklyn, yeah, I'm in Queens. So I'm assuming you've never seen my merch website then.
I mean, I just like see what you're wearing. I don't really like to check out YouTubers merch because can't really buy it. Yeah.
All right. You know what, Michael? You're giving me a perfect segue because I actually announced 3 new merch items today. You're giving me a perfect segue for me to share the screen and show y'all what's up. I think I would like to say my merch is pretty good. You know what I'm saying? I would like to say it's pretty good, but I'm gonna let you guys be the judge of that. And so this is the merch store if nobody's ever seen it. So I got an NWO inspired design because I was a big wrestling fan when I was a kid, WCW. I got the Your merch. I got the Hub mug, the Future design, which I have a t-shirt of. OGR actually has a t-shirt of this as well. So if I go in here, wow, it's actually taking a while to load. And you zoom in on the design, you got the Hub, the Future, the franchise, helmets of 4 players that are the future. But this is all old merch, you know what I'm saying? Even this H design. 3 new merch items released today. You got the Joe Judge inspired one. Now, this is actually kind of old, but it's from that Judge video of him diving and sliding into the mud where the players were screaming, Judge, Judge, Judge. Now, everything, different colors, T-shirt, sweatshirt, whatever. The 2 ones that I spent a lot of time working on that I'm particularly proud of, and shout out to my guy Farhan for helping me with them. I would not be able to make them without him. We have a Wayne Train merch. This was drawn from scratch. This took about 5 hours to make. We got the Wayne Train, any color you want, bro. You got the tracks on there. That is, of course, Wayne Gallman. That is Wayne Gallman drawn This was done in Adobe Illustrator. You got it on the hoodie. You got it on the T-shirt. You got it on a tank top if you want the tank top. The back has the hub, but it's Wayne Train, man. It's catchy. Pretty good design.
You were showing off that illustration on Chris's stream, right, Tana?
I did. Yes, I did. And then this is a limited time one now. This one is going to be gone by Christmas, not the Wayne Train one, but the Sack the Halls with Dexter Lawrence. Fa la 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 la. Tis. I don't know how the rest of the song goes, but this is the Christmas ugly sweater merch that you guys could get right now. It's already live. You know, you got it in different colors as usual, on hoodies, on sweatshirts, on whatever you want. And if you're a member of the channel, both the Wayne Gallman one and the Dexter Lawrence one, I've made phone wallpapers for you guys, so you could go and download them and put them on your phone if you want to. I could actually show you right now. I have the Sack the Halls one on my phone. I don't know if this webcam is going to pick it up. That's what it would look like as the phone wallpaper. But that is Dexter Lawrence, also drawn. Also, you know, this one took even longer because there's a lot more detail in here. But that is the merch. To answer your question, you also gave me a pretty nice segue to advertise the new ones, my man.
Yeah, I would like to add on to the kid that went on before me about like the middle linebacker position. I mean, we could like pull some strings in free agency. It's like Lawrence Taylor had Carl Banks with him. You know what I mean? Like it's like they were the crunch bunch. It was like 4 linebackers and they were all dominant. It's just that Lawrence Taylor was remembered because again he was on crack, and he just proves that crackheads can do anything. So yeah, and like. By the way, what do you think of that? Do you think like he still deserves like his title as a dominant player, even though
you're talking about Lawrence Taylor?
Yeah, like I know he's dominant, right? But like a thing that like keeps on like lingering in the back of my head is that he was on crack the entire time.
All right, okay. Here's the thing. All right, first of all, Lawrence Taylor wasn't just dominant. Obviously, I'm way too young to have lived to see him play, but everybody knows of the legend. Lawrence Taylor was the most dominant football player of his time and of any time. Lawrence Taylor, like he's considered the actual GOAT of football. Nowadays, people bring up Jerry Rice a lot because they're saying the stats that Jerry Rice put up in a time when passing wasn't even like that, you know, can't even be met in today's time where passing is a big part of the game.
Yeah, but what you need to realize
what Lawrence Taylor did, Michael, I don't think could ever be replicated. I mean, he was getting just sacks, so many sacks before sacks were even counted as a stat. I know you say, you know, he was cracked up and whatnot, but you could say that then about every single player during that era. I think you'd be hard-pressed to find a single football player during that era, especially on the defensive line or, you know, linebacking core that wasn't cracked up. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Also, like, what people need to take into account, like, aside from the crack thing, is that being a dominant receiver and being a dominant linebacker, even outside, inside, outside, or middle, is different. You know, like it takes different skill sets and different body types and different mindsets to play different positions.
So yeah, other than your Lawrence Taylor, that was kind of blasphemous. What else you got? What else you trying to talk about?
Oh, I was on a Bad Dog's channel. I was just scrolling by and it just came up. He said that like Giants should listen to offers for Saquon. Yeah, what's your take on that?
I wouldn't listen to offers right now. And I saw the video as well. I didn't get to watch it. Shout out to Bad Dog. Obviously another great. I mean, everybody knows Bad Dog, right?
Yeah.
I wouldn't listen to it just yet.
Yeah.
And I said this before too. It's gonna get annoying, but it's because we're such a good team. With Saquon, I'm not even waiting until the end of this year because he's not gonna return this year. I'm gonna see how he plays next year before I try to get rid of him. Now I will say like I said, I didn't watch the video, so I don't know if he made this point. But what does make sense is that now probably would be the best time to trade him. As funny as that sounds, or now would be the best time to start looking into trade offers. I know you're saying, oh, he's injured, nobody's gonna want to trade for him. I think it would be worse if he comes back and he's really, really bad. Then absolutely, I don't think you're getting anything for him, right? So now would be the time to start looking. I would not do it right now. I would wait until next year. I would see how he comes back. I have faith that he could come back just fine. And you know what I'm saying? You look at Dalvin Cook, you look at Adrian Peterson. And for some people, that's not even the concern, right? For some fans, the concern is, well, I don't want to pay this guy $20 million, which I don't as well. And like Saquon's my favorite player, but I'm not paying him $20 million a year. But I'm not looking at it just yet. What about you?
I mean, you need to like remember that like the recent Giants greatness came with 2 very good running backs. We had Tiki Barber and we had Bradshaw. And they were dominating the defensive line. They were finding holes, and they were just like always falling forward to getting the extra yard. So
I would say it was Brandon. I know Tiki Barber's the best Giants running back that ever lived, right? Saquon hasn't taken that title yet.
Not yet.
In fact, he's not close to taking that title yet. But I would say Brandon Jacobs and Ahmad
Brandon
Bradshaw
Jacobs, yeah. But like they were all good. They exceptionally good compared to the league. So I feel like if we have Gallman and Saquon on the team at the same time, and we're both feeding them a rock, and we're not really relying on Daniel Jones, we need to give him time to develop because like his reads are kind of iffy, you know. And so we need to incorporate a little bit more of the run game. That's what I think we should do.
And I completely agree with you. I think next year, Saquon comes back healthy. Saquon, Gallman in the run game is going to be absolutely deadly, especially if Gallman, this isn't a fluke year, especially if he continues what he has now. And then you add in Daniel Jones' read option to that. We could probably be one of the most deadliest teams by the run in the league. And of course, you already know what that does for the passing game, man.
Yeah. Do you think we should trade or just cut Elijah Penny?
Nah, because we're one of the only, I want to say, 2 teams in the league that uses a fullback. And Penny, he's a terrible running back, but he's an all right fullback. Unless there's a replacement for that, unless there's a change in the scheme where we won't require the fullback. But it was nice having you on, Michael. Any last thoughts before I let you go here?
Oh, by the way, I know we all know this. Joe Burrow got carted off with that knee injury. What does that mean for the Giants? You think the Giants are going to come in there with a mindset like, oh, this is easy, and then we're just going to get blown out? Like, or you think Joe Judge is not going to let that happen?
I hope it doesn't happen. I hope they learn from their mistake in week 3 against 49ers, because the 49ers were even more injured than this Bengals team is. The 49ers didn't have Jimmy G. They didn't have their first string back. Didn't have their second string back. Didn't have like 3/4 of their defensive line, and we got absolutely blown out. So I would hope that's not the case. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But thank you for calling in, Michael.
Yep.
Great supporter, man. Have a good one, bro.
Yeah, you too.
So that was Michael, guys. I'm just going to give you a quick rundown of the list. The next person up will be Mets fan 11, then David A.B., then Mike Nixon, then Joe Yado, then Bean, then Let's Go Birds HD, then Drunk Rick, then PJ. So that's the current lineup, guys. So shout out to everybody in here. I see Jaden Dawkins, Vinny G, man, Jesse, Brian. If I just saw Joseph Balby posting the link. If anybody wants to call in, the link is there. And next person up is Mets fan 11. What's up, bro? How you doing, my guy? You're going to need to unmute. Yeah. Are you there? I cannot hear you.
Hello?
There you go. We can hear you. What's up, man?
Good.
Yeah, so what are you trying to talk about?
What do you want to talk about?
Oh, see, it's usually the other way around. You guys would come on and okay. I mean, all right. I got a couple questions for you then. What do you think about? I'll go off of my last caller here, Michael. What do you think about phoning calls for trading Saquon?
That would be it matters. We would have to acquire a first round pick because we got him as a first round pick, and also his talent. I mean, maybe first and maybe average, maybe linebacker, cornerback, around maybe an offensive lineman. Piece to the team.
You would development. But would you do it right now, or are you gonna say no? Let me wait for a couple.
I would wait.
Mm-hmm.
I would wait for next season. If he gets hurt, just trade him. Like, there's no reason. Then he's gonna be a free agent now. Like, how many years? Like 3, 2.
Saquon has I want to say 2 years left on his contract if we take the 5th-year option, which I fully expect us to take the 5th-year option.
Maybe tight end, because that's the position we're going to be looking for because of the free agency.
Mm-hmm.
And Ingram, I mean, we could also I think we should trade our first round pick, and like you could trade it down. Then we could draft tight end, and then we acquire a third.
I'm hearing a lot of tight end from you. Why is tight end such a big thing for you?
It's part of the passing game. I mean, Evan Ingram's been an okay tight end, but like the tight end, like we don't have like the best offensive line, and I think it's important. I mean, it helps block, and I mean catching, and I think we need one. part of this team for development and like players to. It's like play for players like players. A team needs a tight end. I mean, you can't not have one. So I think it's important that we have a good tight end, not a junk one.
What are you thinking about this upcoming Cincinnati game? Are you confident or are you cautious?
Yeah, I'm very confident because we have a quarterback that was like drafted in like the 7th or 6th round, Ryan Finley, and Daniel Jones was the 1st round, but he's supposed to be like a 3rd rounder. But I think we'll win by 10.
You think we'll win by 10? So you think the Giants go in there and they just dominate?
Yeah, Sterling Shepard, more than 100 yards.
Really? I don't think Shepard has had a 100-yard game this season.
I mean, Ingram, I think they'll run the ball out with him. I mean, Gallman definitely gonna get a touchdown. He's a beast. I mean, and O-line expect to average. I mean, Leonard Williams maybe 2 sack day. That would be sick.
Other than Leonard Williams, who else are you looking at to get a sack?
Yeah, Leonard Williams is a complete beast. We have to sign him back. I mean, it would be stupid for the Giants not to sign him back. I mean, he's going to become a top 10 pass rusher any year now.
I wouldn't say he's going to become a top 10 pass rusher in a year because there's great pass rushers out there, but we definitely need to sign him back. Any last thoughts before I let you go here, Mets fan 11?
Last thought. What position should we draft in the upcoming draft? I'm
looking at wide receiver, but honestly, it could change week to week depending on because the team is improving week by week. You know what I'm saying?
All right. Bye.
No problem, man. Thank you for coming in. That was Mets fan 11. Guys, shout out to everybody in here once again. Thank you all for tuning in. David A.V., Javen Dawkins, Joseph Balby, Football Talk, Michael Boston, Mikey C. Let's get the next person here. Next person up is David A.V. David A.V. is almost always in every single one of my streams, man. David, how you doing, bro? What you trying to talk about?
I am doing good. How are you?
I'm fine, man.
All right, so 2 things. One, in the chat, I probably put a bunch of my keys for the game. Like, I'll tell you my keys for the game, for the Bengals. So 3 players I want to watch out for are Giovanni Bernard, Tyler Boyd, and surprising one, Carl Lawson. He's an edge rusher.
Well, isn't Carl Lawson number 2 in quarterback knockdowns right now?
Yeah, he is very underrated. He doesn't get as many sacks. I think he has like 4.5 on the year. I would watch out for him. Watch out for him because we know that our tackle play can be kind of iffy at times, but has gotten better. And Tyler Boyd, our slot, I don't know who's going to be in the slot because of McKinney's return. So I want to watch out for him. And then we already know, Tana says all the time, the midgets, they get us. Gio Bernard, he's quick, he's small. I will watch out for him.
Bro, not just with the Giants, with New York teams in general. Short dudes always kill New York teams. When Isaiah Thomas was on the Celtics, absolutely killed the Knicks. This was before we discovered they were cheaters, but Altuve with the Astros killed us in the 2017 playoffs. Short dudes in general just kill New York sports teams. It's just how it goes, man.
Yeah, that's right. So, yeah, those are my keys because I already know how this game's going to go. It's going to be surprisingly low scoring, I think. Giants are going to run all over. You think it's
going to be a defensive game?
I think so. The Giants are probably just going to run all over the Bengals. I think our run game, it's better than – I think it's going to come down to who has the better run game. We got the better run game. I mean, they don't have Joe Mixon. So, I mean, I think we'll be good in the run with Gallman. I think – I don't know. He's not coming back. Never mind. What's his name? Devonta Freeman. He's not coming back, right?
Devonta Freeman might be out for the rest of the season. I don't know what's up. We still don't know what happened. That was like week 6. Hey, there's like no information on what happened with Devonta Freeman, but he hasn't been back since. And because Gallman has been doing so good, I don't think he's really going to be back as our starting running back.
Yeah, I do not want him back. I love the way Gallman is running north-south, getting positive yards almost every single time, which is kind of encouraging because like we saw in the first game with our offensive line not playing good, Barkley in the backfield every single play. So that's great to see our run game getting better. I see a big day, our offense is gonna get like obviously 100+ rush yards. We do it against everyone, so I expect us to control the clock, which has been great for us this year. We've controlled the clock. We haven't been getting absolutely crushed in the time of possession like last year.
Mhm.
So, how do you think the Giants are gonna be coming off the bye?
I think the Giants. Listen, I'm gonna say I hope that they're gonna be well prepared, but I think the Giants are gonna come off the bye, and I think they're gonna try to run the football a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? This offensive line, I want to believe that it's going to be a seamless transition from Colombo to Dave Googs, right? But I don't know if it is going to be a seamless transition. So I'm just going to guess there might be some bumps in the road. It's not too unrealistic to expect some bumps in the road when you're changing offensive line coach. So because of that, I think we might run the ball a little bit more than we pass it coming out here. And then Cincinnati, correct me if I'm wrong, but they don't have the greatest run defense in the world. And with the way the Giants have been running the football in recent weeks, I think that's what we're going to lean on. I think we're probably going to have 100+ yard, running game, whether that's through DJ, through Gallman, through Dion Lewis even. And I say through DJ because he's led the team in rushing yards last week again. Whatever the case is, I think we're going to run the ball. And then defensively, I think this defense is just going to pick up where it's left off. I'm be honest with you. I think this defense could have a great game against Cincinnati. I really expect our pass rush to come out because Cincinnati's offensive line is really, really bad. So I would hope that we get success and whatnot. Secondary, I think the Giants secondary is really underrated. And we're going to see how Xavier McKinney comes back. That's going to affect a lot of things depending where they place Xavier McKinney. But I think the defense is going to look really good. And I think the offense is going to be kind of quiet unless, just rushing touchdown after rushing touchdown just comes on. But I mean, that's what I see. What about you?
Yeah, I see this game going like two ways. One, like this is one of those games where Daniel Jones just throws like 4 touchdowns and leads us to a win because we've seen it. Like he throws against the Jets, the Lions, the Buccaneers. None of them are in the division, except for the Washington one, which they were not good. Mm-hmm. But they don't come in the division. So this is like it could either go two ways. It can be like a 17-10 kind of game, or it could be like Daniel Jones, like 28-13 kind of game where he goes off. But man, I see this game going in our favor. The Giants are going to get like 3 sacks in this game, where I don't see O'Shane Ximines having that much of an impact on his return because our pass
I got
rush.
A question for you. What Xavier?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
If Xavier has a good amount of snaps, so are you expecting anything big from him, or is he going to ease back in?
I think he'll be, ease back into the start. He'll ease into the starting role. If we go on a playoff push, he'll get the starting role. You can get the super chat.
By the way, real quick, shout out to LA Lou. Big shout out to LA Lou, man. I see him on like damn near every single Giants content creators place, man. Thank you so much for the $2 super chat. He says, "Hey there, Hub, just popping in to spike a like." And by the way, guys, spike that like. So yeah, thank you, LA Lou. I'm gonna leave it up there for a little bit more, but David, yeah, going back to Xavier McKinney, what's the chances of us seeing something big like a pick or a sack from Xavier?
That's something I can see. I already have this game like in my head. I know how it's gonna go. Like the Giants on the road, like their road games, the way they play, it's almost the same every time. They're competitive on the road, more competitive on the road. It seems like, and I see McKinney. He's probably gonna get like, I see him in the range of 10 to 15. I don't know. I don't know how many snaps he's gonna play. Like, I don't know, but something big that happens. At least. Oh my gosh!
You think he's gonna have impact?
Not as much. Not this game. The Seahawks game. That's a game I could see him doing big things. That could be the game where he kind of breaks onto the scene for us. And yeah, so final thoughts. Giants. They're gonna get this win. I think they're gonna win by 2 scores. We beat the Eagles by 2 scores.
Oh, you're really confident.
Yeah, we're gonna win by 2 scores. But
I bet I like it. I like that energy. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm keeping it a little bit cautious right now, just because I'm getting flashbacks to week 3. But I like the confidence, man. Thank you, David, for coming on. Big Sport the channel. This dude is like in every single one of my streams, man. Love it, bro. I'm gonna get the next person in here, man. Have a good one.
All right.
So that was David, guys, and shout out to everybody in the chat once again. Jesse Bryant, Tashima Smith, Don Biz, Division X, Jaden Dawkins, Mr. Hang Gliding Man. Mr. Hang Gliding Man says, I love all this DJ hype. I think the only person that hyped up DJ so far might have been Mets fan. But let me get the next person in here. It's a long-time supporter of the channel, Mike Nixon. Mike is the bro. And Mike, how you doing, man? I hope everything's good over there.
Everything is good, Hub.
What's up, man? What are we talking about tonight, Mike?
Well, first thing, screw Jordan. I love all y'all.
Thank you. That means a lot.
Second,
he grouped us together.
Yep. Second is I think the Giants are going to do this, and I'm more. What's the word I'm looking for? I'm more
cautious, confident
that we'll make the playoffs now.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just going back to what I said last time about the draft, because I've done some more research.
Mm-hmm.
We can definitely get a top quality player around 20 to 22 range.
What position?
And we can definitely get a corner in that range, because I know of one. J.C. Horn out of South.
J.C. Horn is who I'm looking at, actually.
Yep. Out of South Carolina.
Yeah. I know a lot of people are looking Patrick Surtain because he's the clear #1 corner in this draft. But if we don't go corner like right away, you know what I'm saying? Or if for some reason we miraculously make the playoffs and we're picking in the 20s, I'm looking at J.C. Horn. It would be great if he slips into the second round, but he's probably not going to. But that's definitely who I'm looking at for corner.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. And that will leave us to try to get a wide receiver in free agency. Kenny Galladay or Allen Robinson. At this point, I would have to say Kenny Galladay, because he might be a little bit cheaper than A-Rob.
And I wouldn't mind Kenny Galladay. Kenny Galladay, he's done some damage up in Detroit, man.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
What do you think about drafting one, though? Because that's where I stand. I stand with like drafting if we have a chance, somebody like a Jamar Chase. Would you go for drafting a receiver over, signing one to a big deal?
If we didn't get in the playoffs, I would say yeah. Because we could, but it depends if Jalen Waddle is gonna go around that range.
Jalen Waddle, I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't know what range he is gonna go in. I want to say the teens, maybe. Teens.
Yeah.
Right? That's if he keeps up the way he's been playing and whatnot. He's been having.
Whoa, he actually is out for the year with a.
Oh yes, I did see that. That was a couple weeks ago, right?
Yeah.
Oh, so hey, that might actually impact his draft stock. We all know how injuries goes with draft stock and whatnot. But Mike, enough about the draft talk, man. I want to ask you about Cincinnati, bro. Listen,
we are going to win. We are going to win by 17.
By 17? Give me a final score prediction.
Okay. I'm going to say
17 to 34?
27 to 10.
Really? No, I got confidence in our defense holding down Cincinnati. I really do. I think everybody's concern would be how good is the offense is going to be,
Yeah, but Giovanni Bernard is ass. Boston Scott is better than him.
Gio Bernard was there. I remember Joe Mixon. He was either out with an injury or suspended or something for a while, a couple seasons ago. Gio Bernard was in there, so there is a good amount of tape on this guy from previous years.
Yeah. And
So-
plus, our run defense has improved.
Our run defense has been in the past like 4 weeks, I want to say, maybe like top 10 run defense, bro. Our run defense has been there. You know? And don't underestimate our pass defense. I'm really happy with the way our pass defense is coming along. Statistically, it might not be the best, but the eye test, I see a good pass defense out there. But yeah, Mike, any last thoughts before I let you go, man? Long time supporter of the channel, bro. Always love having you on, man.
What'd you think about the next free agency signings?
I'm gonna keep it real with you. I literally have not kept up with the next free agent signings. I'm gonna keep it like, yo, it's an exciting time in football right now. So can you blame me?
Yeah.
I haven't kept up with it though.
I know we signed Austin Rivers for like, I think 3 years, 10 mil.
I don't know how I feel about that. Where they want him to be. You know what? We're going to talk about this in the Discord. Mike, remind me in the Discord. Just at me, and we're going to talk about this in the Discord, the Knicks.
All right. Or I'll DM you in there.
For sure, man. David Canal, once again. Have a good one, Mike.
No problem.
Oh, my bad. I accidentally put him out. All right. So next person up, guys, Mike Nixon. For those of y'all that don't know, he's a great long time. The guy's been with me since essentially day one. Supported the channel, man. Next person up is Joe Yaddo, and shout out to the chat once again. Thank you all for being in here. Joe Yaddo, bro, how you doing, man? What you trying to talk about?
Hey, Hub, doing good. Thanks for the mod. Thanks for having me on, boss.
Absolutely.
Let's go back to the first of the year. What was your prediction for the Giants?
At the beginning of the year, I said 7-9.
All right, we're close, right? We're looking like 6-10, 7-9.
Yeah, I would say 6-10. Yeah.
So that's check one. We wanted to see improvement. Yeah, I think we've seen improvement. Daniel Jones, the offensive line starting to gel. All right, so that's check two. Then we were worried about the coaching staff. We didn't know what kind of coaching staff we were going to have. Well, damn it, we got the best coaching staff in the NFC East. So there's check three. So everything that you all predicted that you wanted to see has happened, and everything else right now is gravy. If we don't beat Cincinnati by double digits, I'm going to be worried because we have not beaten a winning football team yet. So I love the hype. As you see, I'm a big-time Giants fan. Got my Eli jersey on. I'm worried that if we lose a game, a mistake happens, that I'm going to be Debbie Downer. We're going to start seeing the fire Gettleman again. Daniel Jones isn't good again. I love the hype. I love all the camaraderie right now that's going on with the YouTube guys. I'm just afraid. And it's like, we got to come back down to earth. I've been a Giants fan for 40 plus years. I've seen this. And the darn Giants, they'll break your heart. You'll love them 1 minute. The next minute, it's like, what are they doing? So, what's
Joe,
your take on that?
I get where you're coming from. And I can understand, too, because I've seen Joel comment in a couple of my streams the same thing. Now, I don't know. I think you could tell. Like last night, whatever night it was that I did my last stream where I was like, I'm confident the Giants will win this game. I'm confident we're going to go to the playoffs. I've calmed down since then. I like to think that some Giants fans will also eventually calm down, but we both know how this fan base is. They go with the waves, man. They're either riding really high or they're riding super low. And I agree with you. We need to come back to that medium.
Let's play this one game at a time. Let's beat Cincy first. The first thing we have to do, we have to beat that team by double digits.
Let me ask you that. Why by double digits? Why do we got to beat Cincy by double digits? For you to have confidence.
We're playing their backup quarterback. All right, it's in their field. We're not traveling very far. Our team is coming off a bye. How are the Giants after a bye? They broke my heart a few times after a bye. We've had bad football for the last 7 years. We're in the division hunt. We're playing meaningful football. That's check 4. So 4 of the things that everybody and that every fan wanted to see has happened, has produced. And like I said, I love the heart. I love the enthusiasm. But let's come down to reality, because some Giants fans are acting like Eagles fans. Oh, we're going 10-6. We're going 11-5. We're going to win the division. Yada yada. Guys, one game at a time. Like I said, I'm the biggest supporter of the Giants you'll ever see. Mm-hmm. But we have to bring this, like Joe Judge says, we're 0-0 right now. We're not worrying about what our record could be.
1-0.
Yeah, yep, exactly. And that's the mentality, and that's the focus. I'm just afraid that if something happens, we get a key injury, we lose a heartbreaker, it's going to be right back to we got to get rid of Gettleman. Or let's go the other way. Well, I told you we shouldn't have won all those games because now we're not going to get a high draft pick.
Okay. Oh, you know what? First off, Joe Yado is preaching to the choir right now, because I agree with everything this man is saying. But one thing I did not think about at all, we've seen this crowd last year. We saw the crowd the year before. That draft one. Oh, we shouldn't have won all these games because now we're here. Now, the only way that happens, though, Joel, like, I don't see there's not that one player in the draft that fans want that much, because I would like to think that the tank for Trevor crowd is gone. I haven't seen them in weeks, right? Other than that, I'm not seeing any player where it's like if we win too many games, we're going to be out of reach for them. I don't know. So I would hope that crowd is gone.
Well, when do quarterbacks go in the draft? They go in the 20s, right? Very rarely outside of cornerback.
Corner, yeah.
So they're going to be there, which is what we need. Wide receiver, this draft is going to be really deep with wide receiver. That's why when I brought up to you in your Discord, hey, if we pick in the 20s, let's drop down to 26 and get somebody second. And then drop down again and come back into a high second. So now we got two-round picks for trading down twice because there's no big-time game-changing player. Let me ask you this, Hub. When's the last time that a $20 million receiver won a Super Bowl?
I don't think I can name one.
We don't need one. I want 3 number 2 receivers. I want 3 Darius Slaytons. Who are you going to double? Who's the defense going to key on? Which guy is going, just like Graham's doing with the defense, he's rotating these guys. He's bringing the free safety down, the strong safety down, rotating, coming from a 2-high look to a 3-high look. And then the 3-high look changes to a single high safety. And it's confusing all the quarterbacks. And with a cornerback, if we get that cornerback too, man, Graham's going to just light these guys up.
I think here's the thing. I think Graham's about to light these guys up with the return of McKinney, or eventually when McKinney gets fully healthy. Now, here's the thing. The reason, and I know what she's talking about. Joe Yado, he was active in my Discord. He brought up this great idea, and it got me thinking since then that if the Giants are picking in the 20s, bro, just trade down to second. Just get rid of, I don't want to say get rid of because that has a negative connotation, but trade away the first-round pick, gather up a bunch of seconds, and you could pick players that are good enough. This is what I was arguing with the middle linebacker position. We don't necessarily need the best at the position. We need decent, above average, good players. I'm going to leave it at that. We need good players. You could find good players in the second round. So Joel he might be onto something here. He might be onto something.
Yep.
So what do you think?
Xavier McKinney.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. What are you thinking with this man, Xavier McKinney?
Man, let's let him play a game first. Let's see what he can do at the NFL level, because we all see that they're drafted high, their stock is high, but then they come into the NFL and then there's that learning curve. These guys are faster, bigger, stronger than anything he's seen in college. Yeah, he's got Peppers back there to teach him, but I have all the hope in the world for the kid. I personally think he was a steal in the draft too. But he's got to play a game or two, see what we got, because I don't want to hear that, oh, McKinney blew coverage, he's a bust. Yeah, because we all know how the Giants fans are.
You don't want to see a repeat of the first half of the season with Andrew Thomas.
Yes. And I think that's why they waited so long to bring him back from IR, was to A, get him conditioned, B, get him in the film room, C, okay, now let's let him get him on the practice field and see what he really has. Let's get this kid ready to play at the NFL level. And I agree. I'm hoping. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, my bad for cutting you off. I was like, I agree with you there. That's been my theory on it, because he was only supposed to be out for about 6 to 8 weeks. The dude's been out for twice as long. So I'm like, I want to believe, unless that injury was way more serious, that they have just been getting him back up to game shape.
Yeah, because we all know foot injuries are tricky because guys might come back too early or even a week after they're supposed to and then get hurt again.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen it time and time again. So let's just take it easy with the kid. Let's enjoy watching him play. Let's celebrate his good plays. And he's going to make mistakes, no doubt about it. He has not played in this type of defense. It's going to happen. I just hope he doesn't give up the big play. I hope he keeps everything in front of him. I hope he makes solid tackles. And you know what? He might get a chance at a pick, but he might not catch it. He hasn't played football in how long?
A long time. It's been months. It's been like, what, 6-7 months? Longer?
Yeah, I mean, how are you going to bring your skills back? Now, not only that, he's playing after being injured. Now, we all know that it takes time after an injury. I mean, everybody sprains their ankle, and then they're gimpy on it for a little while, but they never really trust it until 2-3 months down the road.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody just slow down. Let's enjoy the wins. Let's celebrate the victories. Let's watch the game, get our takes, love our team, cheer for our team, root for them. But
let's take it one game at a time.
Yep.
Let's take it the Joe Judge approach. And honestly, Joe, hey man, I'm gonna ask you this. Can you blame me for saying that's why I am excited about team? Because Joe Judge is going with that approach of 1-0. Focus on this week.
No, not at all, because I'm just as excited, and I'll run around the house and I'll be screaming and hooting and hollering and throwing when they lose, and I'm doing the screaming and the hollering and the rooting and when they win. And we beat Philadelphia, finally beat the Dirty Birds. Now we need to beat the Cowgirls.
Let's come down from it a little bit.
Exactly. See, even I get worked up about it, but we're fans. We're passionate. We're the passionate fan base. We want results. And right now, guys, everything that all these guys on YouTube have predicted, like Chris and Hub and OGR and Bad Dog, it's all coming to fruition. We're 6-10. We're seeing improvement. We're winning games. We're feeling good about ourselves. We can walk the streets in our shirts and celebrate. And but again, one game at a time. Let's beat Cincy. Let's see what we got after the game. Injuries happen. Let's see who's available.
I'm gonna ask you to knock on wood for that last one.
There, I got a wooden table right in front of me.
Yeah.
Because we might play Seattle. What if Russell Wilson gets COVID? We don't know what team we're facing. We don't know what's going on because Mixon's out for the Bengals. Quarterback's out for the Bengals. Graham's going to have fun with that rookie quarterback there. What's his name for the Bengals?
Ryan Finley.
Their O-line. That's why I said we should beat these guys by 12, 14 points at least. This should be a game where the Giants show their domination.
You think
if we can do
this should
that
be a
against,
game where they just make a statement?
It is a statement game, even though that team is bad. Okay, here's a perfect example. Team. Herbert made a statement against the Jets, right? Justin Herbert went out there and beat a team he's supposed to win against. The Jets are 0-9, 0-10 now. But he went out there. Yeah, they scored points in the second quarter. But Herbert had them up, 24-3? Herbert went out and did what he's supposed to do. He showed he's a good quarterback. He dominated a bad team. That's what Jones has to do. No turnovers.
And you know what, Joe? I'm going to ask you. This is going to be my last question for you right now. Your stance on Jones. I'm glad you said that's what Jones has to do. But your stance on him right now. And I would think, given what you've expressed so far, you would say I would pass judgment at the end of the season. But what's your stance on him right now?
Man, I've seen Kent Graham play. I've seen David Brown play. I was around when Phil Simms got benched. I've seen some really, really bad quarterback play. Daniel Jones is better than some of our worst quarterbacks. To me, he's not. Yeah, he fumbles.
Mm-hmm.
Russell Wilson 3 weeks ago had 4 turnovers, right, against the Bills. So, guys,
Russell Wilson early
it's
in his career was a turnover god.
Exactly. When you see guys that don't come into the film room early, when you see guys that aren't really trying, when you see guys that show up just for a paycheck, that's not Daniel Jones.
Mm-hmm.
Daniel Jones put on that 10 pounds. Daniel Jones worked on his fumbling issues. Now, this is not stuff that's going to happen overnight. But he continues to work each
and I will say
every
this, Joe,
game.
He hasn't fumbled that much or turned over the ball in the past couple of weeks.
Well, not a couple of weeks, but how many fumbles has he had all year?
He's all the way down, man, all the way down.
What more could you ask for? I mean, guys throw interceptions. This is the NFL. Even though the Jets are a bad team, they're still NFL players. How many quarterbacks can captain a football team in the NFL? I want average or above. How many teams have an average or above quarterback in the NFL? 15, 16?
Right around there, maybe even less.
All right. So out of the whole population of the United States, there's 16 men that can quarterback an NFL team. That number blows my mind. There's 16 guys that can only do that job. Daniel Jones has a lot of pressure on him. Daniel Jones has a New York media on him. He has a fan base on him. But yet, he doesn't let it get to him. Mind you, Eli, don't it?
Oh, that's always been the comparison, right? Demeanor-wise, mentally, Eli's always been the comparison.
Man, when Eli first came in, everybody's like, get rid of him. Oh, my God, he throws interceptions.
I'm going to ask you this, because you've seen Eli when Eli first came in. I have not. Correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't Eli have like a worse first couple of years?
Yeah, he was throwing interceptions bad when he came in. He had a good offensive line. He had a good running back. The defense was all right. The situation was set up for him to come in and tote that rock and lead that team to victory. You know, he did that in 4 years. But guys, y'all gave him 4 years. Why can't Daniel Jones get 4 years? Especially when the team just this year got the offensive line together. It wasn't pre-built for him like it was for Eli. Well, I don't understand all the hate. Is it because
it's completely because Gettleman said it? I mean, people say it all the time. It's the microwavable side. They want it immediately, and I think that's what it is. People don't got patience.
Is it that, or is it because the experts said that he was a second-round pick, and everybody's listening to the experts instead of trying to visualize?
I would hope it's not, because we see those comments. You know, I'm speaking content creator general here on all of our videos, and a lot of us content creators say something different from the experts, at least after, we went back and looked at them. So I would hope it's not them looking into, the NFL pundits and whatnot. I would hope that's not it.
But then everybody compares the football players with PFF, and nobody can stand PFF. But yet when they want to stand behind a guy, they use the PFF numbers instead of using your eyeballs. I mean, the kid's running. He's not fumbling. Yeah, you know what? He throws interceptions. Well, name me a quarterback that don't. Brady just blew a big, huge game. Is Tampa Bay coming down on him? He's one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time.
Carson Wentz. You don't need to look outside the division. You don't need to look outside the division to talk about turnovers and a quarterback. And I'll tell you what, most Eagles fans I've talked to are still on Wentz's side.
Why can't we be on Daniel Jones's side? Why can't we stand up for him?
And I was saying this early in the year. I was saying this early in the year before Haskins got benched, and around the time he did get benched, I was like, why is it that Washington fans could so clearly stand with Haskins, but we can't clearly stand with Jones?
I'm lost because Haskins doesn't put in the film room time. That's why he got benched. He wasn't doing you know what? He did get in shape. I'm not going to knock the kid for that. But I have a feeling Ron Rivera benched him because he wasn't doing the little extra bits that a quarterback, the captain of the team, the leader, the commander, whatever you want to call it. There's all those little intricacies that you have to do to be a leader, to be a general, to be a good quarterback. Joe Montana, drafted in the 3rd round. Look what he turned into. I don't hear anybody harping about him because he was small, undersized. I don't understand the Giants. Oh, he fumbles a lot. Well, What rookie doesn't fumble a lot? Lamar Jackson. Look what he did his first year. His second year, he's phenomenal. Now his third year, teams are starting to figure him out.
Mm-hmm. And we already said on the fumbles, Jones has cut it damn near in half.
Why? Well, why the hate? Why the?
I know you're not talking to me directly, Joel, but I'm with you.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, like I've been, and I'll admit, I had one low point in the year with DJ. It was after the Bucs game. That was about it. I'm like always on the dude's side. He's my quarterback. He's my quarterback until he isn't my quarterback. But I understand where you're coming from, and I just cannot answer it because I have the same questions as well.
This has to be something to do with Garrett.
What about you? You think fans are on DJ because of Garrett?
Well, look. Well, if Judge took over the old line 3 weeks ago and they looked better, the last 3 weeks, the offensive playbook has looked better. Is Judge sticking in his nose to Garrett saying we need to do something?
I've speculated about that, but I don't know.
If one's happening, I'm sure the other's happening.
Mm-hmm. That's definitely I've been speculating about that as well. And I guess what? If Garrett is not back next year, and that's a whole different topic, I'm sure something will come out saying, well, Judge was working with that offense as a whole in the second half. But Joel, thank you so much for calling in, man. You brought up some
Thank you
great
for having
points,
me on.
bro. Absolutely no problem. Any last thoughts before I let you go?
Nah, just sub the hub and click the like, guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you, man. Have a good one. Next person up, or I'll list out the next couple of people up. There's Bean, then Let's Go Birds, then Drunk Rick, then PJ, then Grivity, then Wolves, then Braun the Goat, then Braden Big Heart. So let me get Bean up on in here. Bean, how you doing, man? What's up?
I'm good, and you?
I'm good, man. What specifically you want to talk about?
All right, so for the Bengals game, right? What do you think we need to do to win this game? Because I know it's like supposedly an easy game because Burrow's out and Finley's in, but Giovanni Bernard might be a bit of a problem. What do you think about that? And like, what do you think we need to do to win?
You're not the first person to tell me to look out for Gio Bernard tonight. Like a lot of people in the chat's been saying it.
Yeah.
A couple of the callers have said it, and I agree with you. We got to look out for Gio Bernard. I mean, this is kind of a superstition thing, but it's just the fact the Giants, when it comes to small running backs, we don't really handle them too well. So we're definitely gonna need to contain the guy. Like I got faith that we can because our run defense at that point, right now in the season, they're performing like they can hold down somebody like Gio Bernard. But even last week, was it last week? No, the week before. The Eagles game was the week before. Right? Boston Scott didn't use that much, but Boston Scott still bust through for what? What is that, like a 40-yard touchdown run?
Yeah, but that was bull. He stepped out. I don't care what anybody says.
He stepped out. Listen. Either way, he got that hole, right?
Yeah.
Even Miles Sanders is not a small back, but Miles Sanders was cutting it up on us as well. So I agree with you. We definitely need to look out for Gio. What I think we need to do as a team is we need to run the ball. We need to run the ball heavy. Wayne Gallman needs to go off. Daniel Jones with his legs needs to go off. Even mix in a couple of wide receiver end the rounds, maybe. I don't know. But I think the key to win this game offensively is going to be us just pounding the rock.
Yeah, but what scares me about pounding the rock with Daniel Jones is that Von Bell has been a pretty good open tackler this season, and he knows where to put his hands to rip the ball out of Daniel Jones's hand because he's had turnover problems in the past. So I'm kind of worried about Jason Garrett running too many RPOs, but if he balances it and finds where they're weak in the D line, we can definitely run the ball on them.
Well, a couple of things. Von Bell would only be, a major problem. We only would be worrying about him if one of two things: if they're either Cincinnati is bringing him down to the line of scrimmage a lot, or he's blitzing a lot, or if he gets up to that third level. You know what I'm saying? He gets past the first level of the line of scrimmage, gets into the second with the linebackers, and gets into the third with the safeties. Right? Then we're gonna need to worry about him. But hey, man, listen, let's give DJ some credit here. Like Joel was saying, my last caller, he's been pretty good with fumbles this year. He's cut his fumbles in half since last year, and you look back at just the past couple of weeks, and he had that big run against Philly, you know what I'm saying? He's been protecting the football well, and I don't think this year, I'm going to knock on wood on this so I don't jinx it, but correct me if I'm wrong, somebody, I can't think of a time that he took off on a long run and fumbled the ball. I think he's kept the ball pretty well on long runs.
No. I don't think he has.
Yeah, so
He's only stumbled. That's it.
Yeah, he's stumbled, right? So I would say Von Bell isn't necessarily a problem unless he's going to be blitzing or unless he has a great game in coverage or something.
Yeah, because I was watching the game review last week for the Eagles game, and the guys were saying that they like to play him up in the to the line of scrimmage line, like to blitz him. So that's what I was worried about with the run pass options, because they're going to be doing that a lot, considering how they've seen Daniel Jones has been running the past couple weeks.
So I mean, hey yo, listen, can we see another 80-yard run by DJ? I don't know.
Oh, hopefully, bro. Hopefully he doesn't fall this time, bro. That was so. Oh, I hate it.
That became a meme for like a whole week.
Yeah, exactly.
So, what are you looking for on the defensive end then?
Oh, I think the Isaac Yiadom, whoever's going to play number 2 on the outside, he needs to step up this game because they got lethal weapons like Tyler Boyd, AJ Green. I don't know if you will count Erickson as a threat, T. Higgins, and their punt return and special teams have been playing decent. Well, except for the Steelers game, he fumbled the bag, but besides that, they look pretty solid on the special teams. But on the defense, Carl Lawson, he has the second most QB hits in the NFL right now.
I think it was either QB hits or QB knockdowns. He's not somebody to sleep on.
Yeah, he's been playing really good this year, but at the same time, I'm not worried about it because it's just more experience for Andrew Thomas. So, and Daniel Jones has always played with a battle line, so he knows how to get the ball out of his hands fast. So I'm not too worried about
this
that.
is why I wouldn't be too worried about Cincinnati's D-line, is because Carl Lawson's probably the only person on there that you would be worried about.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
So real quick, I just want to say shout out to Nikki. She says, Drunk Rick, who's the next guest on, is her boyfriend. So that's who Drunk Rick is. Nikki is a member. So thank you for clarifying that. So that's what you look for on the defensive end. How confident are you in this game in general, man?
I'm 98% sure we're going to win this game.
Repeat that, 90 how much?
98% sure we're going to win this
98%.
Game. Yes.
What's the 2%?
The 2% is Finley absolutely destroys us like Nick Mullins did. But I don't see that happening.
What's your key to this game? You said it was running, right?
No. My key to this game is pass rush, because if Finley is like feeling the pressure, and he's not that. I think Finley's a rookie, right?
I would say I want to say he's a second year player. I could be wrong.
Oh, okay.
I want to say he was drafted last year in the 6th or 7th round.
Well, since he's never played in an actual NFL game for like 60 minutes, I don't think he's going to be able to handle the pressure from Leonard Williams, and Dalvin Tomlinson has been getting in the pocket this year.
Dalvin Tomlinson has been getting some good pressure this year.
Yes, I'm loving how Dalvin Tomlinson is playing.
And the big boy Dexter Lawrence.
Yeah, sexy Dexy.
Hey, I'll put him on a t-shirt, man. Sack the halls now.
Yo, I might actually get that for Christmas though. The gray one.
Thank you. By the way, for anybody listening, if you guys order, I think within the next week or two, with regular shipping, it will come in time for Christmas.
Oh, I bet.
But yeah, so who you think might lead the pass rush this game? Is it going to be Leo?
Yes, most definitely. Because I feel like isn't he on pace to get 10 sacks this year?
He was like, I want to say right before the Eagles game.
Yeah.
I don't know if he still is. He's probably now on pace to get like 8 or 9. Unless he has a crazy game. But around that ballpark area.
But they have Bobby Hart at right tackle.
They have the former Giant. Listen, whoever's lined up on Bobby Hart, I would expect them. It would be a failure on our defense if we don't abuse Bobby Hart.
I think Ocean's going to get some reps against him. So that should be fun to watch if he comes back. And, bro, I was saying this in the chat. The private chat, I was like, I just want to see Mckinney absolutely light someone up this game if he comes back.
You want to see him just get into somebody and absolutely tackle them to the ground.
Yeah, but I don't want him to go too hard because he might get injured again.
All right. Okay. Maybe McKinney's the one that takes care of Joe for us. Maybe McKinney's that dude we needed to prevent the small running backs from going off.
Yeah, hopefully, bro. Hopefully.
But yeah, Bean, any last thoughts before I get the next person on here, man?
No, but make sure you guys like and subscribe to the hub and buy the merch.
Thank you, man. Thank you so much. Have a good one, Bean. Next person up is Drunk Rick. Now, I hope he's not actually drunk, and I hope that's the name. But welcome on, Rick. How you doing, bro? You're muted.
Hey, what's good, Hub?
What's up, man? How you doing?
Hey, man, I'm all good over here, man. How you been?
I'm all right. Talking to the subs. What topic you trying to talk about with the Giants tonight, man?
All right, first and foremost, man, I want to shout out your chat, man, because your chat is the best, man, on YouTube, man. I love everybody in the chat. And I know I don't get along with everybody, but that's what it's all about. You know what I mean? You don't get along with everybody in the chat. But I just want to shout you out because I know, man, you've been growing, and I see it in your chats. You've been growing like crazy, bro. So I just want to shout you out, man.
Thank you so much, Rick. Out of curiosity, who are you in the chat?
Drunk Rick.
Okay, bet. Okay,
yeah.
Bet. You just be in there.
Yeah, my girl put me on to you. Actually, my girl Nikki. So she put me on to you.
And I'll tell you what, bro. Nikki just told me who you were. Nikki's probably one of the biggest supporters of the channel, man.
Yeah, man. She put me on to you because she knows that like she's a Giants fan, but she don't ride or die with the Giants like I do. You know what I mean? So it's like it's a different wave with me. But yeah, man, I just wanted to shout you out and talk to you. You know what I mean?
For sure, man. Let's talk about Cincinnati. What are you thinking about this upcoming game?
All right, so Cincinnati, I mean, before Burrow got injured, I was like, all right, you know what I mean? We're going to get tested. But after Burrow got injured, it's like, I'm not going to take them for granted because any given Sunday and whatnot, but it's like.
And it's not just Burrow, Rick. It's also Joe Mixon is injured too.
Yeah. Well, I didn't even know. You see, that's why I follow you, man, because you got, you know what I mean? Man?
Thank you.
Yeah, but, you know what I mean? Like, before Burrow got injured, I was like, all right, you know what I mean? We got to be on our P's and Q's. But after Burrow got injured, it was like, all right, you know what I mean? We should have this win, but you never know with the Giants, you know what I mean? Because we be having leads in the second half.
San Francisco,
and then we just blow it. Yeah, exactly, bro. Yeah, so. Yeah,
so I'm going to ask you, since this is new information to you, how do you feel now? We already know the quarterback's injured. Now you just found out their running back is injured as well. So what are you feeling now?
I feel more confident, to be honest. But like I said, you know, with the Giants, that's my team and I rock with them. But you never know with the Giants, you know what I mean? Because like you brought up, the San Francisco, you know what I mean? They was on like their practice squad. Exactly. Yeah. They were on their practice squad. So it's like, you know what I mean? Like I felt confident going into that game, but then we got blown out. And that was like the worst loss that we had all season. So it's like, you know what I mean? It's
so
like you can't take.
You would say that Cincinnati is technically a trap game for us then.
I think it's like a make or break game for us just because the situation in the NFC East that I think that it's like, all right, we have to win this game because we're, you know what I mean? Like basically the division is basically, it's almost tied. Besides Philly, like it's basically tied. And it's like, we have to win.
Three-way tie, yeah.
Yeah, and like I feel like it's like a four-way tie because you know Philly, like you know, you see what's going on with them. So I feel like it's basically a four-way tie. So I feel like we have to win this game. You know what I mean? Just to solidify.
And Rick, here's the thing too, right? So Thursday night, Dallas and Washington play. So whoever wins that game automatically goes to first place in the NFC East. And then if the Giants win against Cincinnati, we take over first place because we have the best division record.
Yeah. Exactly. So that's why I don't know who to root for because it's going to be Thanksgiving. So, you know what I mean? That game, I don't know what time it comes on. I think it comes on like at 4 o'clock. So I'm going to have the itis or whatnot, but I'm still going to be paying attention. Yeah. My grandparents, they cook early. You know what I mean? The food be served by 2 o'clock. But I think the game starts like around like 4 o'clock. I'm not sure, but
I'm pulling it up right now. It's 4:30.
Yeah, I'm going to watch the game. And honestly, I mean, RIP Dak, but I think the Cowboys are gonna win that game, though.
You really think the Cowboys are gonna win?
Yeah,
okay, let me know why. Why are the Cowboys winning against Washington?
I think the Cowboys are gonna win because like Washington is like they don't have an identity. Washington, they don't have an identity. You know what I mean? I know they got Alex Smith, and it's like the whole comeback story with them, but you just don't know with them. You know what I mean? 1 week, you know what I mean? Like I watched your stream last night and I seen Collins, man, he was real golly out there. So you never know with Washington, you know what I mean? They might have that one person that steps up, but you never know with them, you know what I mean? So it's like I'm going with Dallas on that game, but I wouldn't be surprised if Washington wins. You know what I mean?
You know what? To be honest, that game could go either way. This is what I got for you, though, Rick. A question I got for you right now. Dallas wins that game. They're going to first place. Dallas got the most easy schedule out of any NFC East guys right now. So what do you think is happening if Dallas wins that game? Do they go on a run or do they collapse?
Honestly, I think it depends on Andy Dalton's confidence and how he performs. I think that's what it depends on right there because I know, like, I'm not the biggest fan of Michael McCarthy, but if Dalton could like prove himself and you know what I mean, he get his groove and he starts like getting some wins, then they could actually win the division. But I think it's the Giants' division to lose. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and you could call me a homer.
I think it was Monday or something. I put out a video. I was like, our destiny is in our own hands. And what I mean by that is we have to win a certain amount of games for the rest of the season and we get into the playoffs. Now, I'm beginning to shift back to where I was before. Guys like Joel, they're like, let's take it one game at a time. Begin to shift back to that just because, like you said, we don't know what's going to happen. It's like anything could happen in Cincinnati, right? So are you with that mentality right now? We're just like, yo, let's just focus on it week by week. Are you with that right now?
Yeah, always week by week. It's always going to be week by week. You know what I mean? Because you never know. You can never underestimate your opponent. You know what I mean? Because you never know. Like we said earlier, any given Sunday, you know what I mean? It could be like we playing the Jets, and the Jets could beat us. You know what I mean? So you can never Yeah, yeah, exactly. You can never underestimate your opponent. So I feel like the Giants have the best like continuity in the team, and I feel like we're gonna win the division.
Rick, keep it 100. We're the best coached.
Yeah, I think we are, and shout out to Ron Rivera though, because Ron Rivera, he's an OG, you know what I mean. But I feel like we really are, you know what I mean, because we got that guy that's like trying to prove himself, and he's really like doing his thing, you know what I mean, with Joe Judge.
What do you think about Joe Judge so far? Because like you said, shout out to Ron Rivera. In one of my recent vids, I said I think Ron Rivera is probably doing the second best job, not necessarily second best head coach, but he's doing the second best job this year in the East. I think Judge is doing the best job.
Honestly, I feel like Judge, he has that, like that stigma attached to him, like, oh, he's going to be the next Belichick or the next Saban. And I honestly, I feel like he's just trying to do his own thing. You know what I mean? Like he's taking what he learned from those two great coaches and he's just trying to do his own thing. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I seen what he was doing during the offseason with the taping the balls to the hands and all that. And I just feel like, I feel confident with Judge, honestly. And so I haven't felt that confident in a long time.
Judge is your coach.
Yeah, 100%.
Daniel Jones. Is Daniel Jones your quarterback?
All right, I know I'm gonna get a lot of flack in the chat, but honestly, I'm like 50-50 with Daniel Jones. And the thing is that like I'm gonna give him that chance. You know what I mean? Like I know like some weeks he's gonna perform crappy, some weeks he might perform godly. But I'm still going to ride with him. You know what I mean? Like, he got to go, like, on a really bad stretch for me to be like, all right, no. That's not my quarterback. You know what I mean? Like, no, we need to draft somebody or we need to sign somebody in free agency. You know what I mean?
Right now, you're fine with him. Right now.
Right now, I'm fine with him. And even when we was losing all those games, I was still fine with him because it's like, he hasn't, you know what I mean? Like, he's still developing.
Rick, I'm going to ask you this. Yes or no? He hasn't lost us any game except for maybe the Buccaneers. Like, that's probably the only game you could really say this was Daniel Jones' fault. Every other game, he kept us in games.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, especially, like, you know what I mean? Like, all these teams that are, like, doing real good right now, like the Rams and the Steelers, like, we could have won those games, you know what I mean? It was just, like, little things here and there. Like, little things, and it's like, I attest that to like the off season and that we didn't have like the off season that we had. And I know we shouldn't be making excuses, but that's what it is. You know what I mean? So it's like you can't like, judge this season, no pun intended, you know what I mean? Like off of like these little things like that. You know what I mean?
I completely hear you, my guy. Any last thoughts before I let you go, Rick?
Yeah, I just want to shout out Joe Yado. He was saying a lot of good things, man. Shout out him. And I want to shout out you too, man, because your channel has been growing. And I really mess with you heavy. I don't want to curse, y'all. I'm trying not to curse. I really mess with you heavy, you know what I mean? Yeah. And my girl put me on you. And shout out Entertainer, OGR, Bad Dog, Kid Blue, Cop Pizzle, everybody, man. The whole Giants community, man. It's all love, man. Authentics, everybody, you know what I mean? It's all love, man. You guys, man. I love watching you guys rather than watching ESPN and Fox and all that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. We give it to you how we feel about it. We don't have somebody over us telling us what to say.
And one thing real quick. Well, two things. We should have this guy right there. We should have that guy right there. We should have him.
He balling out.
I know I'm gonna get a lot of flack in the chat, but it's all good, man. We should have that guy right there,
Rick,
man. We did him dirty, man. We did him dirty,
Rick,
bro.
I'll keep it real with you. I don't think you're gonna get flack for that. I think a lot of Giants fans would agree that we should have him.
Yeah, and also, I want to show you my 2007/2008 championship shirt right there.
You have a championship
you know what I mean?
shirt?
It's a championship shirt, you know what I mean? It's old, but it's fading because I wear it so much. You know, I like to flex because I'm over here in New England. I'm in Massachusetts, so you know I like to flex on these Patriots fans. Yeah,
you gotta get a 2011 one, man. You gotta get a 2011 one.
Yeah, I know, but you know, with this whole COVID thing and whatnot, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You know how things are. But yo, before I leave, man, I gotta take a shot for the Giants. You know what I mean? Best luck to us, and shout out to the chat, man, because your chat is the best, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat. And yo, Hub, I rock with you and I love you, bro.
Hey, man, thank you so much, bro. I love you too, man.
Hey,
I love
man.
all my supporters.
Shout out to you, bro. Keep doing your thing, bro.
Take that shot. And there he goes. He downs the entire thing. Shout out to Rick, man. Thank you, Rick, for coming on. Shout out to everybody in chat. That was great energy right there. That's the energy we need, man. I'm going to give you all a quick rundown of who's up next. Down the line right now, I got PJ, Grivity, Wolves, Braun the Goat, Braden, Big Heart, Let's Go Birds, Daniel Jones is my dad, and then James Carter. Once again, the link, it be in the chat. Thank you all for tuning in again. Peace out, Mike. Thank you for tuning in. Mike is going to be out. And so the next person up here is PJ. PJ, how you doing, man? What's up?
What's up, Hub? How you doing?
I'm good, bro. What are you talking about?
I want to talk about two things. I want to talk about the Tank for Trevor guys, and I want to bounce off of what Joel said, a subscriber. That was it was like two people before, I think. Mm-hmm. I want to bounce off what he said.
All right, so let's start it off, man. Start off.
And for the Tank for Trevor guys, it's crazy because after week 3, when we got blown out by the Niners,
mm-hmm.
I went on the post on Instagram. I was seeing all these guys that are saying Tank for Trevor and fire Gettleman, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I saw two of the same accounts that commented again after we beat the Eagles. And then they were saying we need to keep Gettleman if we want to keep going in this direction. And they were saying 9-7.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's just crazy how fans switch up like that.
I mean, I will say this, especially with New York fans, they emotional, they passionate, but that is a switch up. I ain't gonna lie,
Yeah.
That is a pretty fast switch up.
Yeah, and then there was this one guy saying we need 3 wide receiver 2s, and I disagree with that because I think that's what we have on our roster right now. And our receiving core is probably the weakest position next to cornerback that we have. And I think if we draft a dynamic wide receiver like a Jamar Chase or Devontae Smith,
mm-hmm.
or any of the top 4 guys, I think our offense will be dynamic next season. Because
mm-hmm.
with Saquon coming back, and I really want Jason Garrett to come back also, because all of Daniel Jones runs is a product of Jason Garrett.
Do you really think that?
Yeah.
Because he's had the wheels his entire career.
I mean, yeah, he's had it, but he doesn't show off his wheels like that. I feel like last season he didn't show off his wheels like that, like he is now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I think if we draft that dynamic receiver, I think our offense will take the next step. Because how our defenses are gonna try to figure that out,
I agree with you there. I definitely I do think we have 3 number 2 receivers right now, and I know I say we don't need the best players at our position. We just need good enough. I still think a number 1 isn't necessarily the best player at his position. You know what I'm saying? I think we could get somebody it doesn't have to be Jamar Chase. We could get, I should correct myself. Not a number 1, but somebody that could get open and get down the field. That doesn't necessarily have to be a number 1. You look at guys like John Ross. I'm not sure. Is John Ross still with the Bengals or is he with somebody else? Why was John Ross drafted? Because he could get open and he could get down the field. Whether or not he did that successfully in the NFL is another question. But I will say that's what I want. I want a receiver that could get open and get down the field so that it stretches the defense a little bit, so that it stretches the offense. That's really what I want. Somebody that could play opposite of Darius Slayton, not necessarily another slot guy.
Yeah, that'll help out Darius Slayton more because defenses might overcommit to that wide receiver one. Yeah, and that's all.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, I guess I'll get you a quick toss on Cincinnati.
One more thing.
Then.
Go on. I want Jason Garrett to stay at least one more year because I've seen some articles saying he was going to get fired, which wasn't true at all. And like, I think like if he does good with our offense for the remaining 6 weeks, he might like attract some head coaching jobs, which I don't want to happen because I don't want Daniel like learning a new system in his third year. Yeah, and like I think the offense he was like building up like was made for Saquon because running the read option with Saquon will have like defenses second thinking like.
I completely agree, which is why I'm so excited for when Saquon comes back. And then on Garrett, my thing with Garrett is, and I'm going to continue saying this until we know it, if he's on a multi-year deal, I don't think we have anything to worry about because I don't think he's going to get fired. Because Garrett hasn't done it. Now, the first 4 or 5 weeks, he did a pretty bad job, but he hasn't done a job, so bad that it's like, oh my God, I've got to fire this dude, you know what I'm saying? So if he's on a multi-year deal, I think we're worrying about nothing. If he's on a single-year deal, then that's a different story, and I think that's really what it's going to come down to.
Yeah, and with the 4 first weeks, I don't think it was his fault. He couldn't open up the playbook. Offensive line was terrible, and and Jones he kept turning over the ball. I don't think he couldn't have opened the playbook. I don't think that was his fault. Like the first 5 weeks.
So now Joel actually brought this up, and I actually agree with it a little bit. Now this is just pure speculation, but we know the offensive line improved because Judge went in and started doing some things there. You think the reason the offense improved as well, it's been the same timeline, was because Judge probably went to Garrett and is helping him out? Or you think that's just Garrett getting into his groove?
Wait, say the question again?
So you know how the offensive line improved because Judge has been working on it?
Oh, yeah.
You think the offense has improved because Judge also went to Garrett and they've been working on it? Or do you think it's just Garrett by himself?
With the offensive line?
With the offense as a whole. The offense is finally running well now. The run game is going.
It's both. I think it's Judge going over and helping with the offensive line. And, yeah. Yeah.
Well, PJ, thank you for tuning in, my man. Any last thoughts before I let you go?
No, I just want every Giant fan to stay patient because better is definitely coming. So, yeah, and also...
It's looking up.
Huh?
It's looking up.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
So, yeah, man.
All right,
PJ,
but thanks for having me.
No problem, man. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for being a good supporter, man. I see him in the chat as well. Thank you, PJ. Next person up we got is Grivity. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I might be butchering it. Yeah, man. How do I pronounce that, man?
You pronounced it right.
Grivity, what's up, bro? How you doing?
Not much. How are you doing?
I'm fine. What are you trying to talk about tonight?
So I want to talk about something that not a lot of Giants YouTubers talk about, and that's the Odell Beckham trade. And I actually have the details here. So the Giants actually made 2 trades with the Browns in a matter of a week. They gave the Browns OBJ and Olivier Vernon, and they got Jabril Peppers, Kevin Zeitler, a first and a third that turned into Dexter Lawrence and O'Shane Ximenez. Do you think the Giants won that trade?
Yes.
Yeah, I agree.
I think the Giants, and I think the farther and farther away we get from the trade, the better it looks. Especially with now Vernon finally had a good game this past Sunday, but other than that, he's really just he's declined since we sent him there.
Yeah,
OBJ has yet to stay healthy, and it's just looking up on our side of things with the players that we got back.
Yeah, because Peppers has been one of our better defenders this season, and he's one of the big reasons that our defense has been playing as well as it has. At least in my opinion. And I think Olivier Vernon was kind of just a contract dump in that trade.
So, yeah, I just want to say real quick, guys, by the way, everybody I have in the studio right now, these are going to be the last couple of guys I have on, then I got to be out. So it's going to be Wolves, Braun the GOAT, Braden Bigheart, Daniel Jones is my dad, James Carter, Oscar from Australia, and Bronx Giants fan. Those are going to be the last dudes for tonight because I'll have to go soon. But Grivity, the second question that you got for me?
I think the Giants should beat the Bengals. I think Joe Judge will be much more prepared, and I don't think he'll let what happened against the 49ers happen again. Because, like, if they lose to another team with a bunch of backups, then I'm not going to be too happy.
Mm-hmm. I definitely agree with you there. I hope they come out prepared, and, I mean, you would hope that they learn from their mistakes, right? 49ers is the perfect example because it's almost the same type of game. But the difference is, even when the Bengals were healthy, they weren't a good team. You know, when the 49ers were healthy, they just came off the Super Bowl. So what's your final score prediction for that Cincy game?
I'm going to go 28-17 Giants.
I bet. Well, thank you, Grivity. I'm sorry I had to cut it short, but I just looked at the time and I realized I got to get it going here.
Okay.
Thank you for tuning in, man. Have a good one, bro.
Yep, I will. See ya.
Wolves is in here. Wolves, a long-time supporter, man. What's up, Wolves? How you doing, bro?
What's up? So I have a hot take. Do you think the Giants should turn Saquon Barkley into the next Herschel Walker trade? Find a very gullible team to take him for like half their draft picks?
I don't think that's possible of happening in today's day and age. Half of their draft picks?
Or all their draft picks, depending on what happens. But turn Saquon Barkley into the next Herschel Walker trade. We get a bunch of stuff in return for him.
Bro, I'm going to keep it real. I don't know if that – you're going to be hard-pressed to find a team that would bite on that. Like, tell me right now, do you think any team's going to bite on that?
I mean, we did screw over the Browns a couple times, so why not do it a third time?
But we didn't get, like, half of their picks.
We still got a good amount. We still screwed them over. Am I wrong?
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. We definitely won that trade, but specifically the comparison you're making with the Herschel Walker trade, I don't think that's possible to happen in today's day and age. But if we were to trade Saquon, I would want some. I would want something like that. I would want either a bunch of draft picks or a bunch of good players.
But I think you came up with this. Whatchamacallit? Myles Garrett for Evan Ingram and Golden Tate, since both those guys are going to be out anyways.
I would love. I think I threw it out there a couple streams ago, maybe a couple weeks ago, as like a joke or something. But if that happens, I mean, that's a win for. That's not going to happen. But if that happens,
trust me, it's the Browns. They'll choke somehow.
The Browns would be the Browns and make that trade happen sometime, man. They definitely would. But on that topic of defensive linemen, are we keeping both Dalvin and Leo?
Yes.
We find a way to keep both of them.
Yes, because we should do what the 49ers did. You know, 49ers aren't the best right now. We should do what the Bears did. Just keep on building that defense. Keep building that defense because eventually it will pay off. Mm-hmm. Because in a couple of years, this defense could really be the next 84 Bears or 85 Bears. Or
I wouldn't put it that far. Okay. Let's not get. That's like one of the best defenses in NFL history. Fine. But I will say, in a couple of years, they could be really good.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I actually don't want to make a comparison because I want the Giants to be remembered as like the 2022 Giants, not the reincarnation of the 84 Bears. I want my kids and grandkids to look back and say, wow, the 2022 Giants, you know? And before I leave, because I know you got a bunch of stuff to do, the Bengals game. Initially, I was thinking, okay, this is going to be a showdown, like a really good offensive matchup between Burrow and Daniel Jones, like 4 touchdowns apiece. But now, if the Giants don't win by at least 10 points, like Joel said, then I am going to be pretty concerned.
And a lot of people are saying that. They're saying we should steamroll this team.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's going to be like a 34-10 game, but make it convincing. Make it better than the Eagles game.
Make it a statement. Make it something you put your stamp on.
Yeah. Also, we are Washington Redskins. I mean, Washington to be named fans.
The Washington Potatoes.
Yeah, but forever they're always going to be known as the Deadskins to me.
Hey, that's true.
The Deadskins.
The Deadskins. Hey, shout out to Wolves coming on, man. Thank you, Wolves. I'm sorry I cut you off as I was saying that, bro. What were you gonna say?
Have you ever seen Two Pretty Best Friends?
No. There's only one.
Nice. Also, one more question. Just a random anime question. The legendary Sanin, Orochimaru, Jiraiya, and Tsunade versus a team of the first Hokage and Madara. Who wins?
I'm gonna go with Madara.
I see how you roll. All right.
I'm gonna just go with that, bro. All right.
Yeah, it's a team of Hashirama and Madara.
Yeah, I'll go with that team
versus the Sanin. Oh, you really think?
Listen, I haven't watched Naruto in a long time. All right, so
All right.
I'm gonna just leave it at that, my guy.
All right. Thanks for having me on.
No problem, bro. Next person up is somebody actually dropped out. Next person up is Braun the Goat with 2 goat emojis and then the LA heart colors, man. How you doing, Braun?
I'm doing good. Can y'all hear me?
We can hear you, man.
You know what? My name's actually Jaden Dawkins in the chat.
You're Jaden Dawkins?
Yeah, because I
What's up, Jaden?
subbed to you for a very long time.
Yeah, you have been. Jaden's been in the chat. Like, he's always the first in the chat as well.
Yeah, here's my first thing. Against the Bengals, Isaac Yiadom is the key for the defense because we don't have a number 2 outside corner. I'm really concerned about that because they got AJ Green and like a T. Higgins who's been known for getting open.
So you're concerned about, okay, so this is my question for you, though. Is Ryan Finley even going to make those throws?
If our pass rush get there, no, but if the pass rush don't get there in time, Ryan Finley's gonna make that throw, then the team's gonna drop down the field. When it's the second quarter and 2-minute warning, we really struggle because we give up points every game. Like a field goal, a touchdown, like I kind of get tired of that.
Mm-hmm. Good thing is we didn't let it happen against the Eagles, so hopefully that carries over. We held the Eagles to 3 and only 3 points in the first half.
Here's my second thing. If the Giants gonna have to win, we have to finish games. We've been allergic to that for the past 4 to 5 years.
Well, wait. Wouldn't you say we finished the Eagles game, though? We did close them out with like a 10-point margin.
Yeah, on defensive wise, I feel like offense, I feel like they could be better, though, for offense.
Mm-hmm.
Because, look, Daniel Jones' decision-making will determine the game against the Bengals. Because he's been known for throwing bad interceptions at times.
Mm-hmm.
Because when he gets sacked, he want to throw it away or just force it into double coverage. That's my concern.
My concern is this game, and I understand where you're coming from because we're only about 2 weeks removed since the last time he's done that, which was against the Bucs. The good thing is in those 2 weeks, he hasn't had a turnover. We haven't seen any throws like that. So I get where you're coming from. I'm gonna bank on that continues, especially with the bye week. You know, you give them a chance to recharge. You give them a chance to just build on what they've been doing. I'm gonna be concerned about the trenches or not concerned. What I'm focused on is the trenches. Daniel Jones would make those bad throws if somehow, some way, our offensive line lets up pressure. There's only really one dude I'm worrying about pressure-wise. That's Carl Lawson. And if we can't handle just a one-threat Bengals D-line, then that's a problem. You know what I'm saying?
Here's what's gonna happen. One of their short running backs is gonna score for like 35 yards because we can't stop short running backs for nothing.
Mm-hmm. I agree. You think we can stop Gio this game, or is he gonna go off?
I hope we can stop him because against the 49ers, we play against a bunch of nobodies. It got blown out that easy.
Mm-hmm. So I gotta ask you then, bro. Pass rush, like I said, who's leading the team in sacks this week?
I'm gonna say Leonard Williams, but I really had a different answer. But
let me hear your different answer.
I'm gonna say Dexter Lawrence, in my opinion.
Big man, sack the halls. Available down below. Merch. I'm gonna continue plugging that. But big man Dexy. Why you say Dexy?
Because he could stop the run easily. Because when the team runs the ball, he's always there. He's there to fill out that gap in that position. Because I like what Patrick Graham did. Switch up the defense. Because I don't like zone coverage on this team. I really don't.
Mm-hmm.
If we get another 2 outside corner, we're gonna do man to man. Our defense could be better, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Because
hey man, that all depends. I'll tell you what. Another X factor there is McKinney, depending on how we use him when he comes back. Now, like Joel said, we gotta let dude play a game before we start hyping him up. But depending on where we place him, that could help us improve the secondary.
Here's how the Giants gonna have to win.
Mm-hmm.
Don't let Kid Blue stream the game with you. No.
Well, he's not even going to be available to because he's going to be working. But
and the Giants are gonna win. We have to win by 10.
I listen. I'll say this. I know he said it as a joke, but me and KB even talked about it, like, off of YouTube and stuff. We were joking about it, like every time I stream without him, we do win.
Yeah, I'm hoping that happens.
Yeah. Any last thoughts before I let you go, man?
No. Everybody sub to Hub's channel, Bad Dog, Tana, Kibbles, a Dallas fan. We know that.
Thank you, my man.
All right.
And have a good one, bro. That was Jaden. What's up?
Hub,
yeah.
I got one last word.
What's up?
Yeah.
That was Jaden Dawkins or Braun the GOAT. So, all right, sports talks will let go. Birds, I'm going to let you win early, right? Because you said that your computer's messing up. Now, this is an Eagles fan. I'm going to let you win. I'm going to let you get your 2 cents in, bro. What's up? Let's go, Birds.
All right, let's put the rivalry aside real quick, bro. So, what you doing for Thanksgiving, man? What you looking forward to?
Food. I don't really got a preference. I'm looking forward to food. It's chicken and turkey over here at me.
Yeah. But I said put the rivalry aside for a second. The Giants suck.
All right, bro. Now you capping. You don't have a hat on, but you're definitely capping.
The Eagles are just bad. Terrible coaching. Terrible play calling. Inconsistency on defense. Yeah, part of it's on Carson. Yeah.
Listen, I'm going to extend the olive branch to you. Let's go, Birds. Listen here, man. It's not too late for you to switch your fandom. You're still a young guy. Come over to the Giants.
Never.
Why?
Because I've been with the Eagles because of my dad. He's been an Eagles fan. Well, I don't know, but he's the one who got me into football and to the Eagles. And he's the reason why I play wide receiver. So Eagles fan for life, no matter what.
All right, bro. Okay. Well, shout out to your dad. You play wide receiver. That's pretty cool, man. So what you want to talk about the Eagles a little bit then? What do you want to talk about?
Let's talk about the Giants first because this is a Giants channel.
Yeah.
Y'all offense should not underestimate that Bengals defense because
really?
Jesse Bates is one of the best safeties in the league. People don't talk.
I'll tell you what. The Bengals defense is led by Bell and Bates. They're two safeties.
Yeah, y'all should be scared to throw it deep because Jesse Bates, a ball hawk, is good in the run. So
now, are you saying that because he was ball hawking against Carson Wentz? Let's keep it real. And I'm not saying this is Wentz's fault, but Wentz is leading the league in turnovers this year, and it's by far. So how much of that was Wentz? How much of that was Bates? And by the way, no problem, Nikki. Thank you for tuning in. Member in the chat, man. Love it. So yeah, how much of that was Wentz? How much of that was Bates, man? You gotta let me know.
It's on Doug Peterson because every single play he calls is downfield. And y'all know Carson Wentz is an out-of-the-pocket guy. Yeah, y'all used to be scared of Carson, right?
Probably back in like 2017.
Yeah, because guess what we did in 2017?
What?
We used the ball a lot. We used the short passing game, the drags, the screens, the RPOs, all of that. But where is that in 2020?
It's gone.
Honestly, don't see it. I don't see the RPOs. Jalen Rager are fast people. Jalen Rager, Quez Watkins, Deshaun Jackson. I don't see any drag routes at all. I don't see any checkdowns.
Basically, what you're saying, the play calling is trash.
Exactly.
And real quick, I want to say, after Let's Go Birds, the last 4 people are going to be Daniel Jones is my dad, James Carter, Oscar from Australia, and then Bronx Giants fan, right? So then what are you doing? Are you firing Doug Pearson or are you hiring an offensive coordinator?
Hiring an offensive coordinator. It's not that Doug is bad, but he just shouldn't be.
So what is Doug Pearson good at then for you to keep him as your head coach?
He's creative.
With what? Well, obviously not with the offense.
Yeah, but he's got no help calling any plays at all.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's just him. And now let's say there's just Giants fans, NFC East. Like, nobody cheer for anything else. Or, like, who would cheer for any other team to humble y'all down? Y'all would just think about, if I was a Giants fan, I would just hype up this team. Y'all would believe anything because y'all have your own opinions. Same thing with Doug. If he doesn't have anyone else there to tell him, oh, this doesn't make sense. Oh, maybe we should do more of this. But it's just him calling the plays, designing all of it. He's got no second opinion to talk to him. And it's just like he shouldn't be doing this alone.
Shout out to Authentic in here, by the way. He's tuning in now. Authentic from Authentic in the Beard. Guys, go check him out. He says, let's go Birds is legit. I hear you, fam, dropping them gems. So if you're going to be hiring an offense, what are you doing with Jim Schwartz? I've been hearing a lot of Eagles fans complain about Jim Schwartz too.
Jim Schwartz. Here's the thing. He's not using anyone on the defense right. Nick Gary, trash. Alex Singleton, who has been the past 2 weeks, he's been incredible. TJ Edwards, incredible. Sean Bradley, another great young linebacker that we have. I don't see any press coverages with Darius Slay on any corners. Avonte Maddox, 5'9" on an outside corner. And then we got Michael Jacquet, 6'1", 203. He actually won press against Michael Gallup. Had a pass deflection and almost hit interception in his first career game that he's been in. He didn't even start none of it. He only came in because Darius Slay got injured. Like, Jim Schwartz is just, it's just why? Why?
It's just a why question with you and Jim Schwartz, right? So I'm gonna have to switch out here real soon right now. Let's go, Bruce. Give me your last thoughts on the Eagles before I get on to Daniel Jones. The Daniel Jones guys. Give me a last. What are you looking for in the offseason player wise?
I'm looking if we could get Allen Robinson to replace Alshon, that would be a huge upgrade because Alshon is old and all that, but we still need a veteran presence in the wide receiver room because you see all these tweets with Jalen Reagor calling him uncle. So we still need a veteran to train these young receivers. Maybe Allen Robinson is the key. Maybe we could steal him from y'all. Who knows?
That's if we're going to be going after him. What are you looking for in the draft?
I haven't heard too much about any prospects.
Not necessarily players, but positions.
Oh, I'm looking for linebacker, number one, and then maybe we can get a center to replace Jason Peters or a guard because Brandon Brooks, he's amazing when he's in, but he's getting old because time don't stop on nobody, and he's just injured.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
So, real big shout out to Let's Go Birds. He does have a channel. So shout out your channel real quick and I'm going to let you go, bro.
It's Sports Talk with Let's Go Birds HD. We do skits just like you, bro. I'm not sure they're as funny, but who knows, man.
Hey, man, listen, bro. Just keep at it, man. I actually checked them out today. I saw I think it was Eagles fans after one of the games. There was Doug Peterson in there, Miles Sanders in there. Hey, man, keep your thing, man. Keep it going, bro.
Thanks, bro. You too.
No problem, man. Have a good one. So next up is gonna be Daniel Jones is my dad. What an interesting name here, bro. What's up, man? How you doing?
Shit.
I think he might be lagging
Hello?
or something. I can hear you. Yeah, what's up? Oh, you're lagging out bad.
Yeah, my internet's bad. Just before. Yeah.
Which
My
you
friend
can
Brady
do sometimes
Big
to
Heart, his power
help.
went out. You think you could get him on the show?
Who? What happened?
What'd you say?
No, I was like, sometimes it helps if you take off the video,
My
and
friend
that way
Brady
the
Big
internet
Heart, his
only has
power
to
went
check
out.
it. Oh, Braden Bigheart? Oh, I bet I'll get him on. Yeah, I see him in there.
Okay.
But yeah, what's up, Daniel Jones is my dad. We trying to talk about, bro.
Yeah, his power went out. It's storming real bad.
That's fine.
What are your thoughts on Evan Ingram?
All right, so I don't think it's a secret that I hate Evan Ingram. I say it all the time. I'm beginning to mean it less and less. So I'll keep it real with y'all. I am beginning to mean it less and less, just because we've been using him less and less, which I think is the way to go. I said it. The game that we started using him less was the Eagles game. I said in my preview video to that, if we're gonna win this, we gotta lean away from the tight end position because up until that point, a lot of our success was deemed by how good our tight ends played. And leaning away from Ingram works. Ingram is a good weapon to use every now and then. He's athletic. I don't want to say he's talented. Everybody uses the word talent, but he's super athletic. And every now and then he could make some plays. but that's why you use him every now and again instead of using him consistently. So while I do hate Evan Ingram for the position he put us in, I'm beginning to mean less and less because now the offense is finally operating in a way that I could stomach him. Like, I'd be fine with letting him stay on the team next year because he's on the 5th-year option and let him play that out. I'm not giving him any type of top 5, top 10 tight end contract. If he's coming back on the team, it's going to have to be on something cheap. I would honestly rather go somewhere else, but that's kind of where I stand with Evan Ingram, man. What about you?
I think I agree with you. I think that he's not good. Like, if it's the 4th quarter and the game's like we're losing by 3 because they kicked a field goal, and it's like the last play we can make. I don't think we should put Evan Ingram in. I don't think he's reliable. I think he might get nervous or something. Like, you get where I'm going, because I don't think he's reliable for like last minute plays that could win the game or something.
So what's your second question tonight, man? But I gotta ask you before you ask me. Actually,
second question.
What's up with the name? Daniel Jones is my dad.
Well, Daniel Jones is my dad. Daniel Jones, I think
He fathered
could be
you.
one of the best QBs in the NFL right now.
Okay.
Not of all time, but just right now in the NFL. And
Why do
my
you say
second
that right
question I
now?
was gonna ask, just because of all the
You just believe in him.
passes he made. You know, like, what did you say? I couldn't hear you.
I said you just believe in him.
Yeah, I just believe in him. Plus, he's my dad, so.
And then your second one?
And so, in the playoffs or the Super Bowl, whichever one, my dad is a really big Saints fan, and I'm a Giants fan, as you can clearly tell. Who do you think would win if the Giants and the Saints win against each other right now?
Right now? Oh, the Saints.
Drew
Wait,
Brees
no,
out.
wait. Drew Brees is out. You're right. No, I'm still gonna go with the Saints. I still am gonna go with the Saints. I still the Saints. Listen, Drew Brees was out for like 5 weeks last year, and they still went 5-0. That team knows how to win without him. They're a better team. It's flat out they're a better team than us, right? I don't think that's necessarily a stretch for me to say that the Saints are a better team than us. I think they definitely take that W. What are you thinking though? You think we make it like you think we sneak out a win or something?
I think you could sneak out a win, like in the. No, hang on. My brain just stopped working for a second. I think you might be able to sneak out a win because the Saints, like the what was it called, the Minneapolis Miracle, they choked that time. I think they could choke again. Maybe not against the Giants. But
Well, it was a miracle.
The Saints are. Yeah. You're right.
Yeah.
But the Saints did.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember how long ago it was, but the Saints smoked the Buccaneers. That was like one of the only times Tom Brady has been blown out of the water by another team. Well, he was on the Patriots. It happened.
Yeah, that was
maybe
earlier
once
this
or
year.
twice.
Yeah. The Saints, listen, the Saints are just a good team, right? Straight up. They're just a good team.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, Daniel Jones is my dad, bro. Thank you for coming on, bro. I'm going to switch out now to James Carter, man. Any last words before I let you go?
Okay. Don't forget about Braden Bakehart.
Yeah, for sure. He's in here. I'll get him on, man. So thank you, Daniel Jones, my dad, for tuning in. Next up, we got James Carter. What's up, James? I know you've been in there for a minute, my guy. How you doing?
What's going on, my guy?
I'm good, bro. How you doing?
Actually, I'm not always in the chat, but I'm actually an OG.
Really?
I'm actually I don't know if you can check this, but I'm actually sub number 100. That's when I found you. You had 99 subscribers, bro, and I watched your first video. I don't remember what it was because probably about a year and a half ago when you first started, but
yeah.
Your first video, bro, like back with the no cam, bro, the OG no cam, bro. I remember those days, bro.
Do you remember the intro from those days?
Oh, no, actually.
Nah, it's not as nice as the intro now I have with the B-roll.
Yeah, you do it. Yeah, like your channel has grown a lot, bro. Like I give it to you, bro, like a lot.
Thank you, James. That's a long time, man. Sub number 100. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, man. Like Like I donate here and there, but I'm more of just a watcher. Like I like to just chill, like watch you guys just kind of like like just go.
Hey man, that's
talk and
fine,
all
but
that stuff.
watching is supporting, my guy. I appreciate it.
Yeah. But all right, couple of things. Bengals defense and offense I want to talk about real quick. But the Bengals game, it's a must-win game, bro. It's a must-win if we want to have more of these playoff talks. After the bye week, it's all about growth, progression, evolving as a team. And if this defense wants to be legit with Burrow out, and the sad thing about Burrow being out is I really wanted Burrow to play. Like I like playing teams at their best. Like I'm a diehard Giants fan, bro, since '96, bro. Like I'm 29 now, bro. Like so, like I'm a diehard fan. So like I'm all about playing teams at their best and beating teams at their best, so we know we're the best. You know what I'm saying? So it sucks that like we don't see that good rookie quarterback in Burrow, but with this,
and I know it's kind of unrelated, but Burrow, he might even be out next year too. So that's
right, and it's sad to see like young players like that go out. Like even Barkley, like he's only in his 3rd year, so seeing Barkley go out, you know what I'm saying? Like that's not that's not good. But but with this guy was Finley, his name, the quarterback.
Ryan Finley, yeah.
I think all right, so like this defense, what I want to see from this defense in this game is they cannot allow this beat up Bengals team to get in the end zone.
You want them to shut them out in the end zone?
Not a shutout, just no touchdowns allowed. Like y'all can get 4 field goals, 12 points off just field goals. And I'm saying like they can't allow this team, this banged up team to get in the end zone if they think they're legit. Like I don't care about Yadam or no. Y'all got to do what y'all got to do. Pressure this young quarterback. I think
because I've said this too. Let's keep it real. The Bengals O-line should not be able to like handle our D-line.
And who's on that line? Bobby Hart. Come on. Who's ever on Bobby Hart is gonna have a day.
And they're gonna switch them up too. They're gonna switch all 3 of them on Bobby Hart.
Oh yeah, and you already seen like we're leading the league in pressures. That's amazing, bro. Graham's doing an amazing job. But yeah, so I feel as though like in the Eagles game, like we were getting gashed in the run, but I feel as though like the way Graham coaches this team is like he has a game plan for every team and it's always different. Right? So they know that to stop the Eagles, you got to stop Carson Wentz. So, and Graham uses only the front line to stop the run, and they want the linebackers really focusing on pass on certain games.
So that's why you think the run was getting like long runs. He was focusing. He was saying to them, "Hey, yo, Carson has to beat us."
Yeah, and as you've seen, they ran out like 100-something yards, something crazy, but they only scored 17 points. Like for me as a fan, especially with defense, I don't care how many yards y'all get, how far down the field y'all get. If y'all can't get in the end zone, we're gonna win. If y'all are only getting field goals,
that was our.
And we're scoring touchdowns.
Yeah, that was our offensive problem at the beginning of the year. We were getting down the field. We couldn't get in the end zone.
Right, and our secondary was playing lights out against the Eagles. So why can't we do that against the Bengals? You know what I'm saying? So I feel as though in this game,
yeah. So no, I got a real question for you.
Our run defense is gonna actually be like it's gonna be stop the run and make this Finley guy beat us, and he can't. There's no way.
I was gonna ask. So how do we stop Finley? Is it gonna be through the pressures, or is it just gonna be lockdown? A mixture of both. What do you want to see? Because once again, we're talking in a sense here. This is a banged up Bengals team, and even when they were healthy, they weren't a good Bengals team.
Well, we know Graham doesn't really like the pressure a lot, but he likes these exotic like looks. Like he likes to scheme different kind of looks, and even just getting this QB confused about what he's seeing, there might not even be pressure, but he just doesn't know what he's looking at. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like there's gonna be pressure, but I think it's more just stop the run and get these guys into a long 3rd downs to make this guy throw, and that's not gonna happen. And then you'll see more pressure. So it's more about stop the run, get him in long down distance, make him throw, bring the pressure, especially now with McKinney. We're not sure if McKinney's gonna play, right? Because like
it's not
even though they took him off of IR, that doesn't mean he's gonna play. Because that happened with Tate Crowder with the Eagles game. They took him off IR, but he didn't play. So like I feel as though it'd be smart to play McKinney now, get his feet wet, That way, going into that Seattle game where we really need him, at least he already has some snaps in against, you know, the Bengals to get some burn, and then, you know, play more against Seattle. But with McKinney coming in, it is going to make our secondary that much better, and Graham can just, you know, come up with.
So that's my next question for you. What are your expectations for McKinney? You got anything big, or you're just like, yo, man, just go in there and do a good job?
Well, if McKinney didn't get hurt back in training camp, I had high expectations from him. But now that he's coming back off the injury, I'm more so like, I want them to ease him in, kind of like how they use Pert, where like they play him here and there, because they already have a good thing going right now with the safety looks, and then just kind of rotate him in with Love, just kind of get him some snaps here and there. But in terms of like the rest of the year, like I do want to see why we picked him second. You know what I'm saying? Like that's really it. Like I want to see him like just kind of like all over the field, and then next year we'll really see McKinney.
So you say we should definitely stop the Bengals, and it's gonna be because Ryan Finley's like we should. This is a team that we should beat, right? What is our offense
right?
doing?
And the thing is, I think the Niners game is gonna be what helps his team win this game, because that Niners game was a game where like they had like all their backups in, right? And I feel as though in that game, I feel as though our players kind of took them a little lightly because like everyone knew like they had nobody playing, right? But then those guys that, you know, like, but they're still part of a great organization. I'm saying like they're being coached up to play, right? So like they came to play, and we came to like, oh, we thought we had it. I'm saying, and Judge probably seen that, right? So, and Judge is the kind of coach that, like, if you like, I watch every press conference of Joe Judge, like since his day one press conference. I sit there, watched it live, right? I watch every press conference, and every week that he has a press conference about a team, he talks up the opposing team like they're the best team ever, no matter who it is. Like I remember when the first game against the Redskins, or I'm sorry, Washington, like you would have thought they're like one of the best teams in the NFC East. And then we went out there and did what we had to do. So I think with this game, like we're like Judge is not gonna let these guys sleep on the Bengals.
It's because Judge always he got that. It's the same thing Joe was saying. He has that. Yo, listen, we're 0-0. We're trying to go 1-0, and I agree with you. I think that
right. We're trying to go 1-0 every week, and that's the kind of mindset that the players need to have. And that's one of the biggest differences between him, Pat Shurmur, and Ben McAdoo. Like he knows
we've actually
what he's talking. Like he knows what he's doing because of where he came from. You know, like that pedigree.
And we've also seen some actual progress under him as well. But what are you expecting from the offensive side, man? You want to see a lot of running, a lot of passing. What are you expecting?
With the offense, I like what we've been doing, where like they're real big on time of possession and these long drives. And I'm liking that because it keeps our defense off the field and it keeps them fresh. And it wears down the opposing defense, right? And you're seeing Goldman just get these nice tough hard runs, which I like to see. So like I want to see that continue to keep going, and Jones actually, you know, keep making those plays when he has to make the plays. Don't always just think you gotta make a play every time. So just kind of keep growing on that. And you've seen in the Eagles game when he had to make those throws, he made those throws. Like the one to Deion Lewis, Shepard on the sideline, the
back-to-back
Tate
throw, the Slayton throw,
the Slayton throw at the end of the game. Like that Slayton throw was like the Evan Ingram throw. You catch that ball, it's game. And as you've seen, instead of going to Ingram in the clutch moments, because like in the beginning of the season, like it was like Ingram was our like number one weapon, especially with Saquon out. So it's more so, okay, use him because he's our most, you know, talented, you know, player. But it's Slayton is our guy that we need to focus on. Like like Jones and Slayton had the most chemistry out of like everyone on the team.
Exactly.
But with the offense, like this game, I think Caden Smith was still on the COVID reserve list, so I don't know if he's gonna play.
Caden might not make it back. I don't think Caden's
so. That's I think out of all the players that got COVID, Caden Smith was probably our biggest loss, because like he's the one that does what Ingram can do. You know, the blocking, the catching when you need to catch the ball. So I don't know what they're gonna do to replace
But
Caden.
you
Like
expect them
I'm
to
guessing
adjust though, because
Toy
that's what.
Lolo is gonna get
Yeah.
more playing time with the
Here's the
blocking and
thing
all
though,
that kind of stuff.
James.
Because
You
I think they've
expect
been
them.
using him a little more.
Yeah, I was gonna say, James. You expect them to adjust because I mean that's what the coaching staff has been doing all season.
Right. And with Judge with his coaching staff, like for me personally, like even back with Pat Shermer, like I always felt that our team has been young for a while now.
Mm-hmm.
So like I felt like we always had young talent, but we didn't have the coaching staff to get this
To
young
unlock
talent
it.
where it had to be.
Yeah.
Exactly. That was always our problem, was coaching. And in NFL, it's all about coaching. Like if you have two good teams playing against each other, the difference is the better coach.
Mm-hmm.
So it feels as though when Judge came in and then he complete overhaul the coaching staff, kept like what, 2 guys. This coaching staff is all about teaching the fundamentals, all that kind of stuff that they talk about, like all training camp and off season. And I think we're starting to see that.
Exactly.
So
James, I gotta say, man, you bring up a lot of stuff. I agree with, my guy. You're preaching to the choir here. Before I let you go, I'm gonna ask just one thing of you. Final score prediction.
Final score, I'm looking at my blue lens is saying a 30 burger.
Mm-hmm.
Like 30-9, like a 30-12. Because again, I don't want this Bengals team reaching the end zone. So like a 30-9, 10, something like that. Real, like the good teams beat the bad teams. And if we think we're gonna be a playoff team like this year, this is gonna be our statement game of like we beat a team that we're supposed to beat and convincingly. That's what the good teams do.
But
so that would be the progress I'm trying to see.
Thank you for coming on, James, man. Long time supporter. I'm surprised. I think this is the first time I had one of my first 100 subs on here, man. Thank you so much, bro.
Yeah, so on to Cincinnati, and before I go, I'm gonna give you a year and give you one back, and I get out of here. Here we go, my dude. All right, bro. I'll catch you, man.
No problem, bro. Shout out to James, man. Real early supporter. Did not expect one of those in here. Shout out to Oscar from Australia in here. Oscar, you're actually from Australia.
Yeah, man. I'm from Australia. I actually have a day off today. Like full on, wake up 5 o'clock every Monday to watch the Giants.
Wow.
Watching them lose. Like every morning, 5 a.m.
Oh, my bad. I think there's a lag. My bad.
That's all right, mate. Long connection issues, mate. It's halfway around the world.
I got a quick question for you before we get into the Giants stuff. How'd you become a football fan, man?
Well, like my dad, not really my dad. My dad actually was a big Saints supporter. His uncle played college for LSU, big center. But I really got into it myself. You know, I've always been a big fan of sports. Down here we have AFL. I'm sure you've heard of it before. Pretty quiet, but all the punters come from there. So Michael Dixon, all the Australians come from there. And turned on the telly one day and it came on. And that game happened to be 6 years ago when Odell took the catch.
Really? That's the first game you ever saw?
The first game I ever saw. And that's what made me fall in love with the Giants, man.
Hey, well, I'm glad to see you stuck with the Giants instead of the player, man. No disrespect to Odell. I'm just saying, sticking with the team over the player, man.
Yeah. Like my Australian rules football team.
Yeah.
My whole life. Last time they won anything was in 1995. I wasn't even born then. And just like the Giants, we're starting to get good again. So, it's so great.
How you feeling right now then? You just like you said, we're starting to get good again. How confident are you right now?
Well, I think I truly believe that we will make the playoffs out of our division. However, we need to win this week against Cincinnati. We got to beat the Cowboys in week 17. And if we want to cement ourselves there, we've got to either beat the Seahawks, the Browns, and there's no reason why we can't beat the Ravens either.
Really? Okay, so why do you say there's no reason we can't beat the Ravens?
Right. Lamar's one of the most inconsistent players this year. Their defense doesn't know what they're doing half the time. If we run the same way that we've been running against these good teams, like we did against Pittsburgh, like we did against I forgot. Tampa.
Oh, Tampa. Okay.
Tampa. We just got to play the way of the quarterback. Because, I think week one, a bit hard, new team, new coach, practically a refresh. We completely command-eyed our team. It was a whole new team. The only person I was listening the other day, the only person to play on our team since 2018 is Sterling Shepard. Only person.
2016, you mean?
2016, sorry. Yeah. So, like, I think that we have to beat one of these teams. We've got Blake Martinez. I think he'd be able to shut out Lamar Jackson the whole game.
Really? That's some confident words there, man.
I think that Blake Martinez, because I personally found our defense has been so good this year, except for third down, and that's what's pissed me off all year. It's going so good before.
And it's crazy though, Oscar. We shut out the Eagles on third down the last game we played. So do you think that continues, or was that an outlier?
I think we'll look at the difference it made. We shut out the Eagles on third down. What did it lead to? Punts. We get the ball. We get in good field position. We move up the field. We score more. If you're leaving 3rd and 10, a pass, a curl right straight down the middle, what are you going to do?
So that's what I'm asking. Do you think that's here to stay now, or was that the defense just having a really good week?
It's a must, and I think that Joe Judge will make it stay because I think he's a coach with urge. He's a coach that is able to like set in stone. If he wants something done, he'll make it done. And every week we keep improving and improving. So if we can even not allow a third of their third downs in this week, that would be a win, I think.
You think the Giants are getting hot? They're getting good at just the right time that you need to get hot at this time of the year.
Oh, definitely. I think we've had winnable games, especially against the Eagles and Tampa, but we just haven't been able to close out.
Now, this is a question that's way out there. I am beginning to say to myself, we need to take a week to week. Let's focus on Cincy, right? But I gotta ask, what do you think if we somehow face Tampa again in the wild card round? What do you think is happening?
Well, we got to realize Tom Brady how good would it be? Tampa this, Tampa that every year. This start of this year, they got Gronk, they got all these great players coming in. Oh, they're going to win the Super Bowl. Tom Brady's going to carry them. How good would it be if Daniel Jones, who people said with the reincarnation of Eli Manning, beats Tom Brady in the playoffs? Just imagine that. All the Tampa fans hopping on the bandwagon, following Tom Brady to get shut out by Bill Belichick's special teams coach.
In a way, Belichick got his revenge there, or he would get his revenge there, eh?
Yeah. I think it would just be, it shut out all the haters against the Giants. It would say, I think, though our record doesn't say what we are, I think we're the worst team of all time.
I would agree with you, honestly. I think I said it in my last stream, we're the best 3-7 team out there. And the only team that's given us any competition would probably be the Chargers, and I'm surprised the Chargers are 3-7. But other than them, we're probably the best 3-7 team, man.
Yeah.
So we got to focus on Cincinnati, though, right? So
I think, Cincinnati must. It's a must win. If we lose to Cincinnati, I think the season's over. 100%.
Now, are you also with? I got a bunch of people tonight that said we got to beat them by double digits. Are you with that as well? Do we have to beat them by double digits?
I think we just have to win. A win's a win. No matter how much you win by, a win's a win.
I'm right with you there, man.
It doesn't matter if it's a clean win. Doesn't matter if it's a dirty win. As long as we get the win, that's all that matters. Right now in our division, the point differential doesn't matter by that much because we've won most of our division games. So, yeah. I also want to say this, that I think Xavier McKinney was a steal of the draft, but we haven't seen him play yet. Are we going to see him move into the cornerback position?
You want to shift in the corner?
No, that's not what I'm saying. Are we seeing him move down to the cornerback because Logan Ryan and Jabril Peppers have been playing so well together? Or are we going to see him come in for Logan Ryan, push Logan Ryan down to the corner 2, and see what we do with Yadam and Gano Holmes? What are we going to do with those two?
I would love to take the second option, Oscar, just because Logan's the veteran. He should be able to adjust on the fly and honestly go back to either his old position, a slot, or something a bit newer and outside. I would just put McKinney at free safety, let him do his thing. And because you bring that up, Patrick Graham's going to have some fun. He's going to have some fun exploring the options.
Yeah, All right. Also think, like, I was reading something about the waivers today for contenders on Bleacher Report's Instagram page, and Cameron Wake, do we bring him in? Earl Thomas is definitely not a bring in, but there's plenty of players that are still on free agency that are veterans that can help us if we were to make a playoff push.
I wouldn't bring in Cam Wake just because our defensive line is pretty strong. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
If there was an outside linebacker or something out there, I'd probably explore, but not Cam Wake.
I think, Clay Matthews is out there, I'm pretty sure. So that could be interesting.
If Clay Matthews is out, I know Clay Matthews is old, but I wouldn't mind bringing him in on, like, a vet minimum $1 million deal.
Yeah.
Him and Kyler Fackrell reunited, him and Blake Martinez.
And Blake Martinez as well.
Yeah. So that would be cool.
Yeah. Like, I just think we need some maturity in our team. I think we're still a young team. I think that people forget that we don't have our best player this year, Saquon Barkley. And we're just going to be great in the future. I'm looking forward to it.
I'll tell you this. At the very least, if this season doesn't go anywhere, I'm excited for next season.
I'm definitely excited for next season. I think we now know the holes that we have to fill, and we know we need. I think Darius Slayton is a great wide receiver, but he'd be better than he already is at wide receiver number 2. Imagine if you have someone like Allen Robinson, or like this hypothetical, this would never happen, but AJ Brown at wide receiver number 1. And then you have Darius Slayton at number 2 and Sterling Shepard in the slot. And I think when Sterling Shepard was at his best, when he was healthy, was when Odell was there. And if Eli couldn't find Odell, he looked down and Sterling Shepard would get his yards.
Nice words here, man. Oscar, real quick before I let you go, I got to ask you this one thing. Do you watch cricket since you're in Australia?
Myself, I do like the cricket, but I prefer AFL. And I think everyone watching, check out some AFL highlights. If you want to know, it's practically NFL, no padding, and with a bunch of punters built like linebackers.
The reason I ask is because as a kid, Australia was my favorite international cricket team.
Yeah, like I do like the cricket. I go down to the MCG once every year, watch the Boxing Day Test. It's like baseball. It's very similar. Long days, all that stuff. But yeah,
thank you for tuning in, Oscar, all the way from Australia, man. This man's a dedicated fan. He be waking up at 5 a.m. to catch these games, man. Thank you for tuning in, bro.
No worries, mate. Let's go Big Blue.
Go G-Man. Peace. Next up, we got Bronx Giants fan, and he's going to be the second to last person on here. It's going to be Bronx Giants fan, then Braden Big R. How you doing, Bronx?
Hey, man. I want to speak about the playoffs. See, if we don't make the playoffs, it's a win-win. Because we get a top 10 pick, and if we win, we get in the playoffs. One thing I don't want to watch the Redskins get in the top 10 pick. That's one thing about that organization, they do know how to draft. So,
well, I don't know about that because they took Dwayne Haskins.
I mean, yeah, we really don't know much about Dwayne Haskins. We haven't seen him play. We really haven't seen him. But if we don't make the playoffs, I want the Washington Redskins to make the playoffs. Washington football team. They do know how to draft.
You want the football team over Dallas?
Yeah, because Dallas is old. The Eagles, they're old. So I feel like they're about to start rebuilding.
Here's the thing, Bronx. It's funny you say that. I want Dallas to make the playoffs because I believe Dallas drafts better than Washington. They got Leighton Vander Esch, who everybody said was not a good player. They built their entire offensive line off the draft. Zeke, like anytime Dallas
Let me say this though.
Yeah,
I feel like Washington, they're like a QB away from being like a good team in NFC East.
All right, let's cool it down. Let's cool it down.
I'm telling you, like
Bronx.
I'm telling you, that defense is serious. All they gotta do is just get a cornerback. They're good.
Literally, the only good part of that defense is the defensive line. Their middle linebacking core is not as good as what people.
They can improve on that in the free agency. That's what I'm saying.
They can improve on it, but let's not forget about. Come on now, their secondary. Are you serious? The only good player they got back there is Kendall Fuller.
Free agency in the draft, man. That's what I'm saying. Like I feel like they're QB away.
That would take more than one.
You're right.
Let's also not forget.
I still feel like
Go on.
Us and Washington football team, we're a bigger threat than anybody in this division. The Eagles, they're going nowhere fast. Cowboys, they're also going nowhere fast. And I also feel like the media, I feel like they flip-flop every week on who's the best in the division. It's kind of annoying.
Yeah.
I feel like like last week we were the best team, guaranteed to win the division. Week before that was the Eagles. Now this week the Cowboys are the best team in the division. Like it's kind of weird. So yeah, I feel like we gotta watch out for the Washington football team.
I agree with you because this is what I'm gonna say. I want Washington to win this Thursday night game because I don't know. I feel like Washington. I feel like we have a better chance competing against Washington for the division lead than we do against Dallas because Washington has a harder remaining schedule than Dallas, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's what I feel. So, but I also think that no matter what happens, if Dallas, because I really feel like all it would take is Dallas to win this game Thursday night and then they're off, man. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I definitely do. That's why, if Dallas wins this game, the division is over, man. They got it. They got it in the bag. Because I feel like Andy Dalton, if he beats his team, that means he's clicking. Because this team, they're going to pressure him the most out of any team they're going to play remaining on the schedule. They're going to pressure him. So if he could beat the Washington Redskins, then yeah, they got the division. And I want to speak about the Bengals game. Let's talk about them.
All right.
That's basically a bye week. That's a W on our record. Let's be real. That's a bye week.
It is basically a bye week. Didn't we say that week 3, though? Didn't we say that week 3?
But that's different. That's the 49ers. They just came off a Super Bowl run. Got a good coach.
The 49ers were way more injured than this Bengals team.
But let's be real, though. They still had a good running back in McKinney. He can run the ball.
Mm-hmm.
And you got, what's his dude name? Shanahan, whatever his name is.
Kyle Shanahan.
That dude's a mastermind with the run, man. That dude, he can run the ball with the worst offensive line, I feel like.
Mm-hmm.
Like the run schemes this dude had, it's ridiculous.
So you say this is a bye week. I'm not even gonna get into it.
It's a bye week. Let's be real.
Give me a score prediction.
Let's be real. It's a bye week. They're garbage. I can't name one person on that team besides AJ Green and Joe Burrow. They're terrible. That's a bye week. We're gonna see.
How many points do you have the Giants dropping on them?
I got 27. I got Danny Jones his first 300-yard game, 2 TDs, a rushing touchdown. I got Wayne Gallman going crazy. It's gonna be hilarious, man. That's a bye week. They're garbage.
How good is the defense gonna be against them, in your opinion?
I got Leonard Williams getting 2 sacks, a couple pressures. Yeah. Let me speak about Leonard Williams. I feel like we should just let Dalvin Thompson go because Leonard Williams is more of an impact player than Dalvin Thompson.
Hold up. I'm gonna stop you right there. A, I do agree. Leonard Williams is more an impact player, but B, we got to keep the defensive line together. We need to re-sign both of them. That D line.
That's if we can. If we can. If we can't, we got Dexter Lawrence. That dude's a monster.
Bro, that D line works so well together, and Dalvin Thompson has been stepping up in the pass rush. But what I'm saying is, they work the 3 of them. They've been like smooth as butter this year, bro.
Yeah, I'll say this: if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't have this record. We'd be a garbage team. I'm telling you. If it wasn't for Dalvin Thompson, and Leonard Williams, we'll be nowhere. Like that's how important I think they are to the team. So if you can keep him, I say go ahead. But
bro,
I doubt it.
Here's the thing: Dalvin said he would be willing to come back on a discount.
Yeah, that's the thing. I like him too. Like I don't know what's the discount though. Like
that is
like what's the discount?
It really depends. I want to keep both of them, but it would ultimately depend how much Leonard wants.
Yeah, give Leonard the bag. That dude's a beast, and I feel like if we don't make it to the playoffs, we get that man Gregory Rousseau. I feel like he could be a stud too.
The thing is, with Greg Rousseau, because he's a 4-3-D end, if he comes in, he would be the only way I see us getting Greg is if Leonard walks, and then we use Greg to replace Leonard.
So what do you think we drafted? We don't go edge, like we go edge. We go after edge, like in the free agency or like in the draft. Like I feel like we should.
To be honest with you, I'm not even sure if I'm going after edge at all. Because look at this, we're top. We were number 1 in pressures because we were on a bye week. We obviously dropped because we didn't play. So we're still like top 5 in pressures.
Let me say this though.
Right? Yeah, go on.
Leonard Williams will have like 12 sacks. This dude is slow. He can't get after the QB. Like that one game we played Eagles like a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
He had Carson Wentz like 3 times, and he just let him get away. Like they're slow. Like we need someone fast to come off that edge.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, let me finish. And they're doing that without their 2 starting edge rushers, man. Carter went down early in the week. So did Zimenez. Zimenez is just coming back. So that's why I'm not necessarily prioritizing edge rusher.
That's true. Zimenez, I'm more excited for him to come back than Xavier McKinney, if I'm being honest. I feel like Zimenez, he's going to be a beast. Mm-hmm. Let me say one thing. Damn, what I was about to say. I actually got what I was going to say. Yeah, I actually got it.
Like if we could get an edge rusher in free agency on the cheap, then yeah. I mean, if we're going to spend the money on it, like Bud Dupree is still my
Yeah, Bud Dupree. That's what I was gonna talk about. Bud Dupree. I don't think he's leaving Pittsburgh. I think they're gonna give him his money.
They might They might tag him. They might tag.
They might tag him. I don't see him going anywhere.
Exactly.
I feel like that's far fetched.
Bud Dupree is probably the only edge rusher I would want in free agency.
Bud Dupree. That dude's a beast.
Mm-hmm.
So free agent wide receivers, I feel like I don't know, man. I feel like Allen Robinson or Galladay, whatever the dude name is.
Yeah, Galladay. It's like Holiday, but with a G.
We need that 6'4" dude out of Detroit. That man's a monster. He get them jump balls. We need a Plaxico Burress on this team.
Number one.
He'll definitely be at number one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's really all I have to say, man.
All right, then, Bronx. Hey, man, thank you for tuning in, man. You were the second to last guest tonight, bro. Any last thoughts before I let you go, man? Thank you for the support.
I'm just ready for another bye week because the Bengals are garbage. We're going to give them, I say score, 37-7. They're garbage.
Damn, this man is super confident. I like the energy, man. Thank you for coming in, bro.
All right, I'm out of here.
Next up, we got Braden Bighart, the last guest for tonight. How you doing, Braden?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm good, my man. What you trying to talk about?
I'm just trying to talk about. I know I brought this up on. Actually, before I talk about this, I want to say I don't remember who it was. This was a while ago. Someone mentioned to you about Austin Rivers getting signed to the Knicks. He forgot to mention it's a 3-year deal, $10 million, but only 1 year is guaranteed. So I like the contract personally.
Okay.
But I know I brought this up before on other channels that I love that Joe Judge. I love that Joe Judge is getting back to power run. I love running the ball. That's run first always. And I love how in the draft they vocalized getting offensive linemen. They took Andrew Thomas, Matt Peart, Shane Lemieux, 1, 3, and 5.
Mm-hmm.
And I really like that they're doing that. And I really don't want to spend money on a receiver. If we spend money on a receiver, I'm pretty sure Tyler Boyd is gonna be available. If we were gonna pick someone, I'd pick him if they're not going over $10 million a year. It feels like $7 to $8 million a year, like 2-3 years, I'd be fine with it. But I don't want to pay for a receiver $18 to $22 million a year. I really don't. I want to do what the Steelers are doing now. They're drafting receivers and then they're not re-signing them. Like the big deals.
I agree with you. I don't want to sign a big deal receiver. And that's not to go back on what I said just now with Kenny Golladay. I would love to have Kenny Golladay.
Yeah, same. But
I'm not paying anybody.
Yeah, I really don't want to pay anybody.
You know what I'm saying?
I want to get Bud Dupree, like you said. I love Bud Dupree. He would be amazing on this defense. And then I want to draft receiver.
Depends on if he gets out of Pittsburgh.
Well, yeah. Well, just someone like that. Someone of his caliber. I'm super willing to pay for defense. I would much rather pay for defense than pay for a luxury of a receiver. I'd much rather do that. And then draft a receiver.
And that's been why I've been wanting, and I'm still on board with going receiver in the first round.
Yes, I'm so on board to do that.
Mm-hmm. Now, this is where I'm going to ask you, you just like me, you're on board with Bud Dupree, but I don't know if just like me recently, I'm like, do we really need that edge rusher because of how
well I've been thinking about that too because our defense is playing really well. And if I don't know, is Lorenzo Carter coming back this year? I don't think he is, right? He'll be coming back
next year, though.
But if O'Shane Ximines takes a step up this year, maybe they wait a year. Maybe they might wait a year to get an edge rusher.
I think you wait a year just to see what Carter could do with a full season.
Yeah, I think that too. But if they're going to pay big money, I'd much rather be an edge rusher than a receiver. Much rather.
Mm-hmm. And where do you sit with the middle linebacker position, the second middle linebacker?
We need someone to do something that Blake Martinez cannot do, which is cover linebackers, slot receivers, all that. We need someone to do that.
I do want to say Blake can cover, but we definitely need somebody that...
Yeah, someone who's better.
Yeah. So what do you think about Tay Crowder then? You think Tay Crowder is there a possibility he's that guy, or are we looking at somebody?
I feel like he's someone you could bring in certain packages to do that, but I don't think he's a starter. We could. How old is he? Do you know how old he is?
Tay Crowder?
Yeah.
Bro, Tay Crowder is a rookie. He's like 21 or something.
Oh, okay. So maybe, yeah, he probably has some upside. He definitely has some upside if he's a rookie. Maybe it really depends though. I'd still like to get a middle. I don't know about the middle linebacker depth in this draft, but if they're eyeing someone, take him in the second, third round. But I would much rather have a corner in the second round and a middle linebacker.
I was going to ask, where are you taking a second corner?
I'm taking a second corner in the second. If they're eyeing someone, maybe trade up to the late third or late first. Even though that's happened, DeAndre Baker, we're not going to talk about that.
Mm-hmm.
But they could maybe possibly do that, and then take a middle linebacker that has some upside in the 3rd or 4th. That's what I want.
All right, you got your draft plan laid out.
Yeah.
Like,
and I mentioned this to you on Tanya's channel. I want to trade down. I want to build for the future. I want to trade down no matter where we are in the first round. It will not no matter, but
yeah, you would do. Joe Yato has he's proposed trading away the first round pick, just gathering a bunch of seconds.
Yeah, not even that. Like if we somehow don't make the playoffs, and we're picking like 12 to 16, we could trade with like a mid playoff team to get like the 20 to 25 range, and then get a 3rd and a 2nd, something like that. I would love that.
Okay, that's I've been hearing a lot of trade down tonight. I've been hearing, especially now. This is going to completely depend where we're sitting at in April and what players are going to lie where, right?
And what we took in free agency.
Exactly, and what we do in free agency.
So it's still a lot of what if, ands, or buts, but definitely want to attack all those positions free agency and in the draft.
Mm-hmm. So anything else you want to talk about?
I want to say this. I want to say this quickly. I know we're on to Cincinnati, but what do you think about if we beat Cincinnati? Do you think we go into Seattle? And do you think since our team's hot, I'm assuming they're going to – if we beat Cincinnati, we're probably going to beat them by 10 or so, like a reasonable amount. And then what do you think we go into Seattle hot on a 3-game win streak and you think we might beat them? I think we have a chance.
Listen, I think we have a chance against Seattle right now, even without beating Cincinnati, right? But that's because still, we beat them. If we beat Cincinnati, we roll into Seattle, we have a chance. I'm going to say that. We have a chance.
Yeah, and Seattle's down. Russell Wilson's been – obviously, it's Russell Wilson. He'll bounce back.
That's the thing. And I said this earlier. When is he bouncing back?
Yeah, let's hope it's not against us.
If he bounces back against us, it's clipped.
Yeah, it's over.
Exactly. But listen, we have a chance against Cincinnati, a chance against Seattle.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Whether or not we've been – and I'm assuming we beat Cincinnati. But I think even if by somehow – some universal way we lose, which
we pull San Francisco,
then I still think we have a chance. I still think we have a chance against
I think we have a better chance against the Ravens than against the Seattle, to be completely honest with you. That defense definitely scares me.
Why is everybody so down on the Ravens?
Just because I'm not someone who hates on Lamar. I can totally love Lamar, but they just don't have a receiver. Marquise Brown has been I don't think he's bad, but I think he's definitely taken a step back this year.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we have a chance to win that game as long as we don't get any turnovers, throw any turnovers, which will be hard against that defense. That defense is really, really scary, but I feel like we have a chance to get that defense.
Mm-hmm. I'm not sure why. I'm not convinced yet. Maybe I can be convinced.
I'm not picking us. I'm not picking us, but I think we have a better chance.
All right, then. So I don't know. What are we doing? Can we hold down Lamar like other teams have been able to hold down Lamar?
Oh God, I know we're like ranked like 25th, 26th with quarterbacks outside of the pocket, so that's definitely a problem. But I really don't know. Like I said, I'm not picking us, but I think we have a better chance as long as Patrick Graham can pull some sort of magic to stop Lamar. Then yeah, if we can get that offense slowed down and we control the time of possession, we can definitely win that game.
But hey, Braden, listen, man, it's been good. Yeah. I'm gonna have to let you go because I'm gonna have to go soon.
You've been shooting for almost 3 hours.
Yeah. Hey, man, any last thoughts before you go out?
Oh yeah, go Giants.
Go Giants. Thank you for tuning in, Braden, man. Thank you for popping in. Shout out to the chat, bro. Shout out to everybody here. You guys were great tonight, man. I can't even list it off like I usually do. I don't have nearly enough energy. You guys were amazing. Made tonight a great stream. I just want to say really quickly, once again, the new merch is out. The 3 new merch, they are out. Go cop the Wayne Gallman Leaping 22 Wayne Train design. Once again, completely original design, available on different articles of clothing, different colors. And don't forget the Christmas special. This is going to be gone by the new year. The Christmas special, Sack the Halls with Dexter Lawrence. And if you remember, you have this as a wallpaper available in the members tab. You can set it as your phone wallpaper, man. Sack the Halls, different colors. Y'all already know what the deal is. Thank you all for tuning in, man. I am extremely tired. I'm going to be out. Y'all were amazing. Peace.